Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever I may be watching or listening to us from. My name is AyoT, and this is the Naija FC Podcast on Eagles Tracker, the home of Nigerian football. Thank you for joining us on yet another Monday for an exciting conversation of all the hottest and latest topics in the world of Nigerian football. Today, we're going to be talking about the weekend review, players that performed over the weekend, those that did well, those that didn't do so well. Talk about the Flying Eagles heading to the Under 20 World Cup. We'll talk about the NFF, talk about Ola Aina, Eric Chelle, the Super Eagles, and our chances or lack of chances for qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. With me, as always, I have my co-host. Like, welcome.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me again. Another wonderful Monday evening. Nice to be here, IoT.
Yes, another wonderful Monday, and we have an exciting show for everyone that is watching. But you guys know how I like to kick things off. I like to start by doing a review of the past weekend's performances, see how the Nigerian players performed, and we'll talk about a couple of them here and there. So let me get into that and run through the list very quickly because we have quite a number of Nigerian players. Okay, goalkeepers, we have Chamaka Nadozie, who made 5 saves and won 4 goals for Brighton. Unfortunately, they still fell to a defeat in that game against Manchester City. Tough game. The first goal that she considered, she could have done better with it, the Boniface header, but she still had a good game. Also, Okonkwo made 4 saves and 3 clearances for Wrexham, but Wrexham ultimately fell to a defeat in that game as well. Chijoke Anagboso kept a clean sheet for Tournament Odessa in the Ukraine. Over to the defenders, Felix Agu kept a clean sheet, made 4 tackles, 6 clearances, and 8 goals won for Werder Bremen in Germany. Michael Ologo, clean sheet, 4 goals won, and 7 clearances for Istanbulspor in Turkey. Calvin Bassi with a clean sheet, 2 tackles, 5 goals won, 5 clearances for Fulham in Premier League in England. Joseph Olowu with 3 tackles, 4 clearances, and 8 goals won for Stockport in the UK. Chidozie Awaziem, 5 clearances, 6 goals won for FC Nantes. Another 1-0 defeat for Nantes. They've been losing 1-0. Chibuke Nwanwu with 4 goals won, 5 interceptions, 10 clearances for Wolfsberger in Austria. Ashley Plumter got an assist for Etihad Ladies in Saudi. Ayo Bileye scored a goal for SJK in Finland. Leon Balogun kept a clean sheet for Aris Limassol over in Cyprus. Midfield, Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, 5 goals won, 2 chances created for Pisa. They unfortunately lost their game by a single goal. James Adeni was on target and also created 2 chances for Hapoel Petah Tikva in Israel. And over for the forwards, we had Bamdele Yusuf scored 4 goals in the cup victory for Ferencvaros. I think his team won that game 13-0, and he scored 4 goals against a very, very weak team in Hungary. But then 4 goals is still impressive. Goodness Ajayi with 1 assist for NK Opatia in Croatia. Omarisa Babajide, 1 goal for AS Roma. Sadiq Awujola, 1 goal and 3 chances created for Ceramica Cleopatra in Egypt. Larry Kayode scored 2 goals for Erikspor in Turkey. Philip Ejike scored 1 goal for PFC Montana. Asisat Oshoala with a goal for Al Hilal. Rafi Udurosimi was on target. Rafi Udurosimi was on target for Victoria Pilsen. Rafi Udurosimi was on target for Victoria Pilsen. Kingsley Emenike scored 2 goals for FS Jelgava. Blessing Eleke scored 1 goal for Color City. Abdulrahman Taiwo scored a goal for Sparta Trnava. Uchenna Ogundu scored a fine goal and also got an assist for Alanyaspor in Turkey. Esther Okoronkwo, 2 goals, 1 assist for Toronto, AFC Toronto. Beautiful free kick she scored as well. Kelechi Iheanacho scored a goal for Celtic. Victor Boniface got an assist for Werder Bremen. Nathan Teller, 3 chances created for Bayer Leverkusen. Funcho Bangboye with a goal for Hatayspor. We had Samuel Akere with 1 goal for Wrocław Lodz. In Poland, Taufik Ismail, 1 assist for Lech Poznan. Olakune Olusegun, 1 goal and 1 assist for Paris. Fred Onyedima, 1 goal, 1 chance created for Wycombe Wanderers. And then Philip Azango with 1 goal and 1 chance created for Spartak Trnava in Slovakia. So those are Nigerian players who did well over the weekend. But yeah, Smith Layi, let's talk about it a little bit. Chamaka Nadozie in goal for Brighton and Hove Albion women. They played against Man City, never an easy game. She made 5 saves in that match. Over her first 2 matches, she has now made 9 saves. How did you see her performance over the weekend, and how have you liked or disliked her performances in the WSL so far?
No, I think I've watched the 2 games now, but I didn't know that she's going playing in Manchester. So because it's not far from where I stay, and it was so painful that I didn't go and watch her live. But did well in the first game. I think the first game they drew 0-0. Was it? I think the
Yes,
first
the
game.
first game was a goalless draw. Yes.
One thing that I observe is that she's comfortable with her hand, but sometimes I think the Brighton coach likes to play, with the leg, with legs, and sometimes it is very hard for her to cope with that. But anything that goes to her hand, I think she can actually do that. See, the issue is that against Man City, it's going to be a very big task for them to get the result in Manchester. So I won't put any faults on that. Sometimes 5 saves is not really bad. I can tell you that she's getting a lot of attention now in England because who is this girl? Who is this lady?
They are taking
That's
notice.
what they're taking notice. Yeah, and I can the commenters are full of praise. Despite that, she said that I've done better, but they really praise that. So for me, I think that one might probably be the stepping stone, to greater things in this England. Yeah, I would like to. I don't know. Maybe Man United is playing the WSL.
United is in WSN, I guess.
I would like to go and watch. I will mark it down when she's playing.
United just flogged the Rafael Timiro's
London City,
London
yes.
City Lionesses. United just flogged them over the weekend. That was a very, very tough one. 5-1. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Let's talk about Felix Agu. Felix Agu kept a clean sheet, 4 tackles, 6 clearances, 8 goals, 1. Solid performance for Werder Bremen. They won 4-0 against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And I remember after we made the post on social media, people were saying, so why did Eric Chelle not play? Why did Eric Chelle not play? What do you think about Felix Agu's performance?
I was really impressed. He did everything. It was, I think he had 1 goal line clearance.
Yes, he had 1 goal line
clearance. He had 1 goal line clearance. So he did so well in that game. I've never seen a left back performance from a Nigerian player. In the top 5 European leagues for a long time. That way. He did everywhere. And if he continue to do like this, it's in the team of the week now in Bundesliga. If he continue to do like this, I can tell you that probably it's not going to stay long. I mean, even be hearing that he might be joining Nigerian FC. You know what Nigerian FC is? So it's coming from one Nigerian FC to Nigerian FC in London, the club in London. So for me, really impressed with actually what he did. And to cap it up, his very good friend Justin Gima capped the final goal through assist from their newbie, my brother.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
So for me, I was really impressed. And talking about Eric Chelle, not using him, I think they are scared of a slightly administrative mistake, so that they will not say they go and play him and one person goes go and bring one document from somewhere that is not really eligible to play. And the 3 points we struggle, we get Rwanda. We can't collect. So I think it's slightly administrative. It's not about talent.
Okay. Calvin Bassi, Ugelumba. Another top performance for Fulham. They snatched a late victory against Leeds United. I think Bassi had about 12 defensive contributions in that game. 2 tackles, 5 goals, 1, 5 clearances. Beautiful performance. How Bassi just seems to be one of those players that exactly what you are going to get from him every game, every week. Whether he's playing for Nigeria or he's playing for Fulham, always giving him top performances. How good is Calvin Bassi, and what do you think of his performance the weekend?
It was the Fulham Player of the Year last season, and he's already continued from where he was stopped. Last year. This is the season. I said that he's going to show other European clubs that it doesn't belong to the Fulham level, and he's showing that. I can tell you, a very dominating performance. Just coming from dominating Umpokazi to coming to dominate against Leeds. So I was really impressed with him, and I see that he really improved. I don't know if Risha is working with him too. No, Risha was a defender when he was playing. Maybe he was no, he was not a successful defender, but maybe he was working with him during the national team duties. But for me, he came back like a beast, and so many continue.
My team is when we need the left center back. Colwill is injured. Tosin is making.
Well, you have Ato now.
Hato is a left back.
He's playing. He's the one that the bench Babajide for in Ajax. Remember, he's the one that he was giving Babajide problem now. So they should don't let back. They should go and use that Ato as center back. So we know who is better with him.
Tosin is playing as center back and is very shaky, man. So
Tosin is very shaky. In fact, when I saw him play against Brentford, I said, I hope he has not seen that too. He's
But
really
yeah,
shaky.
shout out to Calvin Bassi, man. Solid
Good player.
player.
Good player.
Okay, let's move over to, let me see. Bamdele Yusuf, 4 goals. Ferencvaros, after just joining the club on his debut, 4 goals on his debut. It was a very easy game for his team. You know, we have to admit that they played against a weak team. I think the team that they played against is in maybe the 3rd or 4th division in Hungary. You know, and of course, Ferencvaros is one of the stronger teams in Hungary. They won the game 15-0, and he scored 4 goals. What do you think about that?
For me, you know, you beat those in front of you. You know, you said that they're in 3rd division. That team can beat Lesotho now. Lesotho, you never know. So for me, I think that you beat the people in front of you. You know, you might even go and bring Man United now. They will not beat, maybe they will even draw that team. So for me, you know, good performance from me. You know, sometimes some players just do some games as training. Maybe that was a training for Bamdele Yusuf. So yeah, he's very good. And that one also help his confidence to score 4 goals in the match is not actually what it is.
Yeah.
No matter how it is.
Oh, I mean, on your debut as well is the part that is good for you, because
goal scoring is the most difficult thing in football. Even sometimes to even play sets, goal scoring is very difficult.
It's not easy.
So
that's why the goal scorers make the most money.
Yeah, they make the most money. Yeah.
So
really impressed. So maybe we can just on the debut too. Just need to continue. At least now, it's just 16. It's just 6 goals off double digits in the season. Yes, now. Nobody will say that he scored 4 goals against somebody. Nobody will say
at the end of the day, you know, and he's playing in the Europa League this year, so it's going to be an interesting one. Their first Europa League game next week is against Durosimi's Victoria Pilsen. So it's going to be interesting to watch him in the Europa League, and hopefully he does well. You know, he just made that move from Vojvodina in Serbia to Hungary now, so hopefully it goes well for him. I'm rooting for him. You know, another Nigerian player used to be there, but they've sent him away. Tosin Kehinde. I don't know if you remember, we used to talk about him fairly often a few years ago. You know, when he was really, now he has taken his talent to Turkey. Tosin Kehinde in the second division in Turkey, playing for Bandırmaspor. You know, hopefully he can revive his career. I know he got injured and then he lost his place in the team. Hopefully he can revive his career. But let's talk about Esther Onyenezide. 2 goals, 1 assist for AFC Toronto. She scored a fine free kick, you know, with her magic left foot. She has been in serious form since just before the WAFCON, going to the WAFCON, coming back after the WAFCON, in serious form. You know, do you think that this girl is becoming a proper star?
She's doing something, you know, and you are big of. I remember the interview you had with her. That is one of the most. I won't say
interesting.
It's interesting, but how would I maybe comic interview? I don't know how to actually put it. Very interesting. For me, you know, she's a talent and she's similar to Boniface, you know, very funny too, you know, very skillful and very productive. So, you know, that WAFCON performance was really very taken. We have to honest ourselves. So she's continuing like this. No, see, national team gives you confidence. She's like we continue to actually perform well. So yeah, I hope that she can just come back against Benin Republic and score 5 goals against them, you know, in October.
5 goals
against them in Benin Republic, you know, in October. So for me, I'm highly happy with her. And that free kick too, like somebody that can score free kick too, both on our national teams. So for her to be trying to do that, and you know, on the regular, trying to do that was a very good free kick, by the way. So try and like do that, I was really actually impressed with her. So she can even contribute more for our national team. So big ups to Esther Onyenezide.
Someone said she should come to Europe. She needs a better limelight. When she was in Europe, she did not get the limelight that she was looking for, because she was in Europe before. She played in Saint-Etienne. She went to what's this other team that she played for in France as well? I forget. You know, when she was in Europe, she didn't get this thing. Now that she's doing well, she also played in Tenerife in Spain. You know, now that she's doing well, you want that to immediately jump. I'm not saying Europe is obviously a stronger league than the Canadian, but you know, who knows if she jumps?
She can enjoy Brighton.
You know, maybe she can join one of those good teams that are coming up. But you never know how things can go for somebody. You know, she's really growing into her own right now. Somebody said if she's in Europe, she'll be in the Ballon d'Or conversation. I disagree with that.
I don't think so.
You know, even people that are saying she's in the African Player of the Year conversation. Look, I know how much weight they put on international tournaments, so I do think she's in the conversation. But does she really have a chance of winning? No, because if you look at the entirety of the season, everything, you know, even in the Northern Super League that she's playing in Canada, she wouldn't be among the top 3 players in the league this season. That's the reality. You know, she only has 6 goals in the league this season. She just picked form at the time that was right for Nigeria before the WAFCON, and then she went to WAFCON. She did very well, and then now she's doing well in her going back to the team. So she hasn't been consistent like that for the whole year, but she's coming into her own now. You know, Ballon d'Or conversation is a long stretch. You know, I still think that Banda and Chawinga are still the favorites for the African Player of the Year. My third will be Chiamaka in Nadozie, you know, and then maybe the likes of other players can be nominated. But I think she probably will get a nomination because of her WAFCON performance. I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, moving forward, let us touch on a couple other players. Scored her first goal for her new team this past weekend. Rinsola, Babajide, you know, talented player, did well in the opening game of the WAFCON, didn't get any other chances to play really in the tournament. You know, she became a substitute after Hiezo puts in a good performance. After getting 2 assists in her first 3 matches for AS Roma, she finally got her opening goal in their Serie A Women's Cup victory. What do you think about Babajide? You know, do you think that this can spur her on to have a very fine season over in Italy?
Yeah. You know, I you know, despite even scoring her first goal, she was effective in the previous games that she was played for AS Roma, and that's actually what you know, very good. I think the Italian league is becoming very strong now. You know, that's the way Juventus actually was performing. So for me, I think this one can she would you know, change something exactly for her. Italy is not the same level as Spain, you know, in terms of like women football, but you know, you can still do well, you know, for your club side. So for me, I think it's the right step for her to move and for her to be doing this well early after about 3 or 4 games. I think it's not bad. It's not bad. Actually, was bad for her. Don't be surprised to see a similar move like Jennifer JJ, you know, after maybe probably a year, then you know, back to maybe one of the big teams in Europe. Yeah, but kudos to her.
Another Super Falcons player scored her first goal. Agbabola, Asisat Oshoala. She's gone to Saudi to make that oil money, and she scored on her debut for Al Hilal. If I'm not mistaken, I want to get my statistics right. I believe that Oshoala has now scored in about 5 debuts that she has played for her club. She scored in her Liverpool debut against Birmingham in 2015. She scored in her Arsenal debut against Reading in 2016. She scored in her Barcelona debut against Rayo Vallecano in 2019. She scored in her Bay FC debut against Angel City in 2024. And she's now scored in her Al Hilal debut in 2025.
Did you score in her FC Roma debut?
I'm not sure about that.
There's no stats.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You know, but I mean, to score 5 opening games for a striker, you want to score goals to start. I mean, it was a penalty she scored from the spot, but still, it gives you that confidence and it gets you flowing, you know, to get into the season. So, what do you think of Oshoala? You know, Saudi move, playing in that league, scoring on her debut. How do you feel about that?
You know, like you actually said, you know, he's going for the oil money, and you know, at this stage of her career, you know, national team, she's not gonna start her again. It's not as if you come and abuse her. She doesn't care. You know, it's not as if she doesn't care. She's not gonna start. You know, a lot of players actually were ahead of her. She's not the main player in that national team now. So what is now left for her is for us to just try and like get some extra catch before retirement. So you know, when they're trying to reveal her, I didn't know the player they want to reveal because it was they didn't show her face. I was like, I hope she's not the one. She's not the one, because I really want her to even play in BFC slightly more. You know, maybe probably more competitive compared to the Saudi league. But I understand that you know, money is very important.
I mean, but to be fair, she also lost her place in BFC. She wasn't starting anymore. So
so you are this opposed to of you know, how players can make money and how they can actually do a lot of their career. Very important. So for me, I think this is she's trying to draw the curtain now on national team career and also on her club career. This lady, Odega plays for Saudi Arabia. Plays for, is it Al Ittihad?
Ittihad, yes.
Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. So she got a national team call up, and so she can still be getting national team call up, but she's not just the main person in our these things. I'm happy for her. She's a talent, and I can say it anywhere. She's the best player in the history of women football in Nigeria.
In
There's
Africa,
no doubt about that. Yeah?
Me, I think she's the best in the history of women's football in Africa.
In Africa, yeah, for me, in Africa. So for me, for her to draw a curtain on this, maybe probably one more World Cup before she finally
goes, yeah.
And then
she'll be in Brazil, I think so.
Yeah. I wish her luck. Continue to do well over there in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I think Oshoala has nothing to prove to anybody again. She has done it all. She has won it all. The only person that comes close to Oshoala in terms of trophies is Christy Uchebe. Oshoala has won so many trophies at club level. She has won so many trophies for the national team. I think she has 5 WAFCON trophies. She has played in World Cup, multiple World Cups. She has won individual honors, 6-time CAF Player of the Year, BBC Women's Player of the Year. Eagle Striker Most Valuable Player of the Season. So she has all the accolades, both team accolades and individual accolades. She's no longer a starter, like you said. She's no longer a key player for the Super Falcons. She's getting into the swan song of her career. So I'm not mad at it at all. Let her go there, let her do her thing. If she can score goals in Saudi, it will keep her active, it will keep her in the national team, and she'll keep pushing on. She'll keep pushing on from there. I don't know if you remember, we spoke about this maybe some months ago, and I told you more Super Falcons are going to move to Saudi. And I was saying it then. Now another 2 have joined in, Odega and Oshoala. I'm still telling you, the way things are going, it's just that we don't have that many players, Super Falcons, that are shining. But just watch, more are still going to join. Because once you have a decent showing in Europe and Saudi comes calling, the offers, the opportunities, the financial package, women don't earn that much money playing football. That's the reality. Many of us that have regular jobs or do businesses even earn more than these players. Maybe they will get a lump sum. Okay, you go to the World Cup, FIFA gives you 68,000. Okay, the president of Nigeria promises you 100,000. They get those lump sums that beef it up. But think about those that don't make the squads. They don't get those lump sums, and maybe their salary in a year is 80,000 or 60,000 or something. So for them, if you're making 50, 60,000 and Saudi Arabia comes and says we'll pay you 200, why wouldn't you take it? So just watch. It's going to keep happening. Right now, our players are dominating Turkey. You see a lot of them in Turkey right now because Turkey also pays quite well compared to the other. People are not really looking for China anymore. So Turkey is an interesting spot for like the average player. But more are still going
to how much does Saudi pay? Like in terms of percentage, more than some European clubs. How much more they pay?
It depends on what your level, but like Saudi can pay you anywhere from 3 to 10 times what you're making currently. It depends on your level. Obviously, a player like Oshoala going to Saudi will earn more than maybe a younger, small, lesser known player going to Saudi. So that's what I'm saying. Like the average player, maybe she's on like 40, 50K a year. Saudi can call her and pay her 100, 150. The top players, maybe they will pay them 200, 300, 400, depending. And there's no tax. So that's a very important factor as well. Because your 50K in Europe, by the time they take tax, you're actually only going home with maybe 35. But Saudi, if they tell you it's 100, you take to your house. So the Saudi money is real, man, and it is. I do not blame, especially the women. I'm in support. As long as you've achieved what you can achieve in Europe, go and make your money, man. Enjoy yourself. You have a family to take care of. We look at, again, and this I say this with all due respect. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. But you look at our legends, women, they are forced to play till they are 40 something because they cannot afford to not play. Ebionome, you think she just loved football so much, wanted to play football forever. She didn't really have a choice. If she stopped playing, she was going to stop making that income. And unless she was already certain of what she was going to do next, it was too risky for her. Ebionome was, only able to finally buy a house after moving to China. All the years that she was playing in Nigeria and Europe, she wasn't able to afford a house. But then the average Nigerian player plays one season in the Premier League, they buy 3 houses. So the level of money is different. So if you're able to go somewhere that you can make enough money, secure your future, secure your family's future, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Honestly, I'm all for it.
Someone just told me that he saw this live shared on a WhatsApp group of the who and who in Nigerian football. I said, we don't get there. Okay,
They should keep sharing the live. They should keep sharing the live. Let's go more people tuned in. And if you are watching, please make sure you are liking. Make sure you are liking. Don't just watch. Make sure you are liking. And if you are on Instagram, if you are on Twitter, if you are on Facebook, this is the final call to switch and join us on YouTube. The stream will end on those channels in less than 5 minutes. So please, if you're on other platforms, make sure you join us on YouTube right now. And if you're on YouTube, please support the stream. Send a super chat if you have questions, if you have suggestions, if you just want to support the work that we do. Be like Remy Ali. Remy Ali always drops a super chat every live. I really appreciate you. He has kicked.
Remy, shout out to Remy.
He's kicked us off. So please, guys, support the stream. Support the stream. Thank you very, very much. Okay, let's keep going. Like, we have a few more players that I want us to talk about. Unserious child of Nigerian football, quote unquote, Victor Boniface came off the bench 6 minutes later, scored a goal. Provided an assist on his debut for Bremen. And then he made a post on social media that on serious speaking, don't do assist to, back to his joking ways. How do you feel about the debut and the impact that he was able to make with the Boniface?
It's good that he's got a new home now, and it's like home from home, because I think he met one of his teammates from Union St. Gallen there, and also we're going to be having Felix Agu and Justin Jima, for all Nigerians there. For me, he made impact in that game. It's good to play for a coach that believes in you. So in terms of talent, AyoT, we can't deny the fact that Victor Boniface is very good. But the way you use social media sometimes what the one drives people crazy. For example, now he came back from a World Cup qualifier game one time, and he came back to say shut the F up when he scored one goal like that. Since then, he didn't score again. this time around now, he said that serious don't score. And I don't know, maybe he's that type of personality, but remember the conversation he had with Ongo Henry, on live that day, with what he was typing, I was like, come on, AyoT, I think you need to educate some of the players on how to use social media. For me, maybe that's how he communicates with his fans, But for me, I guess that is not necessary. You should let his football do the talking now. You should forget all these things that people are saying. Let his football do the talking, Because, for example, now, if he's playing for other Bremen and Justin Jima is doing better, we're gonna argue for Justin Jima before he comes to the national team. So he needs to let his football do the talking for him. Other Bremen is a traditional, very good team, and Leverkusen have still their souls. So yes, now. So for me, I just think that he didn't do the talking now. See, Boniface don't go back slightly. The Boniface we used to know is not the current one we know now. There's a deep in form. He needs to just work his way out and do his thing. Fantastic player, talent is never a problem for Victor Boniface, but it's just the way sometimes these things, communication, sometimes we don't know exactly what they meant. So for me, good game for him. I'm happy that he's got a new home. He should look for a way to start for that Bremen. Then he can kick off from there.
What if that's his way of motivating himself? People get motivation from all sorts of things, and now that a lot of people have turned against him, the same people that were supporting him before, even with his antics on social media, some people used to laugh at it, everything, and then those people turned on him when things went sour. So what do you think that can be his way of motivating himself, that okay, I know that if I banter these people, they will banter me back, and then that way I want to push myself to keep performing because I know what is going to come if I don't perform. Do you think that can be it?
Yeah, you are right. People are different. People with different mentality, and sometimes people, they can actually was look for something to unwind themselves. When they actually was when they are stuck in something, when they are not really feeling happy. But for me, I just think that it's just too much. Everything should be in moderacy. Like it should be moderate. In my opinion, I just think that Nigerian fans will never leave you. If you like, banter them. If you are doing well, they will also say, no, be this good and you score. For example, now, some people say that assist to give, don't be score. No, you saw that those and assist and you give, don't be score. So, in my opinion, I just think that, you said it that he probably using that one to actually to motivate himself, but it's just slightly a stretch. I'll call it. It's just maybe it's helping him, but AyoT is just very difficult to advise him now. In my opinion.
I know if person will ask me for advice, I know the advice sometimes I can give one comment or the other, but I always see I respect myself, I respect other people. Do what you want to do. If you see something and I feel like, okay, I'm inclined to talk about it, like I've told you in the past, there's certain things that I've reached out to certain players and I say, I don't think you should post this, I don't think you should do this. But for the most part, I let people be, I let people be. Shout out to Adad3 for the super chat. Shout out to you, Tracker. I might say more for believing in the World Cup ticket. Don't worry, we'll get to World Cup, Adad. So just stick with us. We're going to get into the World Cup conversation. Okay, a few more to go through. Senior man, Kelechi Iheanacho, also scoring a goal on his debut. Came off the bench, 96th minute penalty, back of the net. Kelechi Iheanacho on the score sheet again. It feels like a long time since we've seen Kelechi celebrate a goal and, kneel down and points to the sky. How do you feel about him, playing under a coach now that really believes in him and believes in his quality, and then scoring a goal on his debut, scoring a winner in the last minute? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm happy for him that, he's been like in the wrong reasons. When he was in Sevilla, Middlesbrough, the fans actually went after him. They didn't actually believe in him. But now that he's in Celtic, under the coach that believed in him, I'll give him his, I think under Breaking Rogers, I think it's called like every day of the week, for during COVID, for Leicester during COVID. So, a guy that the coach that understands him very well. I'm happy for him. But let's be sincere, AyoT, he didn't do anything in that game on that penalty. He didn't do anything in that game. So
what did Salah do in his own game too? He scored penalty too last week.
No. Salah is not this thing. Salah threatened. Salah gave pass.
Salah threatened what?
He passed to Eketike. He did some things. You can't just compare Salah with this. But I just think that he didn't do anything. But he must shine. If he didn't shine in Scotland, it's very difficult. It's like number 20 in the European league. This day, number 20 top coefficients. Yeah, and I saw the comments too that the fans actually went after him when they signed Celtic. When they signed for Celtic, I was surprised that what about his reputation now? Snowman now. People, I saw the comments like, see, they were going, why would they bring this guy? He's that, he's finished, he's not fit, he's that. Middlesbrough fan, we're not really happy when they signed him, things like that. For me, let's be honest ourselves, they are signing Kelechi based on what he did in the past. Just like you're signing, if you sign a player from the Nigerian league, you are signing potential, not what he's playing now, what he can become in the future. Kelechi, they are signing Kelechi based on what he don't do in the past. And let me tell you something. Makekaric too gambled because he played against him in the Manchester Derby. So all those things, you look at it and realize that this guy just need to perform well, for this club. And I know that he will do well. He's still going to play against St. Mary, all those clubs. Dundee. Is he in the Dundee?
There's Dundee, there's Dundee United.
Dundee. There's going to be this one is coastal line, Aberdeen.
Yeah,
he's going to play against Aberdeen.
Motherwell. We have a Nigerian player, Motherwell.
Yeah, so he's going to play against Motherwell. He's going to play against all those teams, But he needs to actually do well. But I'm happy that he actually score his first goal.
Because if he missed the penalty, everybody would have said,
if he missed his penalty,
he's useless. So you have to be happy that he scored the penalty, and he went and embraced the fans, and the fans embraced him as well. And for me, that's the perfect start that the player can have, as a forward, especially somebody that is trying to revive himself and revive his career. You see the off the field work that he's doing, you see the extra training that he's doing, working on himself. You can only wish that he had done this when he was 20, 21 and had put in this work ethic because he had so much potential as a youngster. Maybe if he did all these things before, he would not be in Celtic right now. But at least, they say better late than never. So at least he's taking the step. Better late than never. Even myself, I'm doing something. I signed up for something that I'm starting tomorrow. Something that I look at myself, I'm like, I wish I had started this thing years ago. But at least I'm starting tomorrow. And that's the mentality. It's never too late to achieve. It's never too late to do something.
It's still 28, so
yeah, better late than never. At least he can play 4-5 more years. Who knows? From Celtic, maybe he can move to another team and do a good distance. Most Super Eagles invitation coming soon.
Okay, no, not for now. Not for now.
Okay, let's talk about the young player, Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. Ebenezer Akinsanmiro had a very good game for Pisa in the midfield. Unfortunately, they lost the match, but his performance was one that we can embrace and be happy about. This is his second game that he's playing in the Serie A this season. And his first game was okay, but this game he imposed himself more, was strong in midfield and created chances for his side. Do you feel like this boy is, on the path to really come to his own? After we posted it, some people were saying Super Eagles, Eric Chelle, we need to change all the players. Oh, we have old legs, bring in young boys, blah, blah, blah. So how do you feel about Akinsanmiro?
Like I told you earlier, I'm a big fan of Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. I think that we need to fast and pray for this guy. I think it's like the future of our midfield. If this guy succeeds, Nigeria will do well, in international competitions. So, I think I watched one game. There was one game I was on that day in England. I didn't know that he actually was. They're playing against the Udinese, at home. So I had to change it in the second half, and they did well. It was probably like their best player, in that game. So for me, see, it's actually on loan from Inter Milan. So he needs those performances on a regular basis. Maybe from Pisa, he can actually go, maybe probably join a team like Roma or things like that, or maybe probably Inter Milan actually was even calling back. So I'm really actually happy for him. I just pray that he can continue this way. My major issue with him is being consistent. Is that if you play very well today, in 3 or 4 days, try and motivate yourself and also perform better. If you can actually do that, I think it's very good. And he's very intelligent, very, very good player. So for me, let me tell you something. If it's just that people talking about Super Eagles, I don't know. But he's playing Italian league, I don't know. If he's performing well in Italian league, he can get called up. Yes.
You can. I mean, it's only 2 games so far. I don't want to talk. If I talk now, people say, AyoT said they should not call him. Oh, he has played well. This one, so now, even though I say a lot of people don't understand no one's conversations because, again, if they call him up now, all you can look at is say, okay, let's pray that he does well. Because so far, you cannot say that he has earned this call up. And I don't know why people don't understand that concept, But yeah, at the end of the day, nobody made them make selection. Anybody where they want to come, they call. At this point, they can call anybody. It's not like the ones that are calling are doing well anyway. So I wish him all the very best. But his performance this past weekend was worthy of a little bit of praise. Okay, let's also talk about 2 Nigerian players who made their debuts in the English Premier League over this past weekend. First of all, Tolu Arokodare started. After Strand was not able to play, Arokodare started. He had a tough time running around, feeding on scraps, getting into physical tussles with Dan Bonn, with Fabian Schär. Ultimately was subbed off maybe in like the 60th minute or thereabouts. He could have scored 1 goal, if not for quality defending from, I think it was Dan Burn, where Hwang Chan played a square ball to him and he was getting ready to slap that thing, and just that slight touch from Dan Burn took the ball away from him. But overall, what did you think of Arokodare's performance against Newcastle? And
he actually improved. I think this season, I think he probably did some extra trainings. And actually improved. I was really impressed. I think the coach also built this attack, around him. If you remember when he started the game against Newcastle, there was this long ball. I think he won the ball and dropped it to, is it Chan? Then that guy actually was scored, in the very first minute against Newcastle. So, but he need to chop up. The way Tandanbo rolled him on the floor, Come on. I think I need to come and have some effort because even I don't think they can roll that Alex will be like that way. Maybe it's because it's tall and it's go have like this low set of gravity. So for me, I just think that it needs to be very strong. Premier League we test your strength, so it needs to be very strong. Good game from him, but for a team that you expect not to have the ball, for majority of the game, how are you going to get the service? So I think that he's going to learn. He's going to learn the very hard way.
I mean, Wolves, they're not going to make it easy for him at all. But again, I want to believe that he knew exactly what he was walking into. Before he joined the team, he must have looked at the table and seen that they were bottom of the table and seen that they were not doing well and seen that it was going to be difficult for him. I don't believe that he came there naive, thinking that everything will be rosy. He just needs to try to take his opportunities when he gets them, because again, opportunities are going to be few and far in between. So the one way you see, make sure you convert. Don't be missing chances. He didn't have any clear chance in this game. In their next match, maybe he would have a better opportunity to score. They are playing against Leeds United next. Two small quote-unquote teams, Leeds newly promoted. This is the kind of game that
relegation
double, exactly. So this is the kind of game that you're supposed to look at and say, okay, maybe we can get 3 points in this game and maybe I can get opportunities. I'm really rooting for him, because it's not easy to get to the Premier League, and I want all of our players in the Premier League to be doing well. We get too used to fighting relegation in the Premier League. At least things have changed a little bit now. Fulham are comfortable, Crystal Palace seem comfortable, Brentford seem comfortable. So it's a little bit better for us, but Wolves is very sketchy. And if Wolves go down and he's not able to show himself a little bit, he's going to go and play championship. You have to score like 10 to 15 goals. Then maybe somebody, another team that's coming up, another team that is in the mix of relegation can buy you. Or maybe you can go join Chelsea, because Delap just joined Chelsea. Who knows? But Delap is homegrown, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Wishing him all the best. Okay, and then finally, Christantus, Uche, solid debut for him. Played 11 minutes, came on, had a shot on target, could have even won a penalty, if they gave that. Played one or two dangerous balls into the box. Was a key part of their final press in the last 11 minutes of the game. Played in an attacking midfield position, so it looks like Crystal Palace are using him as a forward and not a central midfielder. Maybe things can change. He can adapt depending on the game situation, But playing behind Mateta, maybe playing alongside Daichi Kamada or in place of Daichi Kamada, if Ismail Assar is back. I think Ismail Assar is currently injured, But yes, how did you see Uche's debut performance, and how do you see him moving forward and playing more games for Crystal Palace?
Uche is a typical example of a player wanting to take their place. You want to impress, Immediately I wanted to go and sleep, when I realized that somebody is dressing up, he's a black boy. So I said, let me just see exactly, maybe probably it's going to be Uche. So I said, no, I'm not taking a nap. I want to watch this guy actually work play. That 10 minutes, it really actually would impress me. See, Uche is a typical example of someone that wants to fight for a shirt. And I might say these things to players. You cannot say that he wants to play. He wants to give you the coach headache. He wants the coach to think about him. So for me, I was really actually impressed with him. Don't be surprised that he's going to actually play vital role. I'm hearing the coach wants to play him behind the striker. Maybe probably like these awkward strikes, not the skillful number 10, but just slightly behind the striker, and see exactly what he can actually bring to that team. I was really impressed with Uche, and I think that in years to come, I think Uche will move to like a better team than Crystal Palace. For me, I was so impressed with what he did.
No, yeah. I was very impressed as well. I thought his effort was very good. And like you said, he came into the side and you could tell that he wanted to make something happen.
Yes.
He was trying hard, and that's the energy that they need. And a lot of these clubs that are not the biggest teams in the world, even if they are not winning games, what they want to see from their players is they want to see effort. They want to see fights. They want to see that you have that desire to get a result, to score a goal, to win tackles, all these kind of things. And in that cameo, he had a very good game. Now, again, consistency is what separates the the average from the good players. He's being able
Yeah.
to do it week in, week out, contribute. But his first 11 minutes, solid 11 minutes. They have a game against Millwall in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. So that can be an opportunity for him to go against a weaker team and actually maybe play from the start, get a goal or get an assist, put in a quality performance, and then that would only bring his confidence so high up. The boy rates himself, he knows he's sabi play. And it's all about just going and delivering on the field. And I'm really excited about Christantus, Uche. Since I started following him when he joined Getafe, and I've been watching his performances, I've really been excited about it. And I just want to say, some people that have come to fight me because I said, Frederick did not do this one, that one. You people, those same people will not come and say, AyoT was right. He told us that Uche was not playing as a center midfielder. He was playing as a forward attacking midfielder. Those same people, you can claim, I was wrong about one. You cannot come and claim that I was right about the other one. I saw where we made post, somebody on Instagram say, it's like true. This boy is a forward though. I'm like, this is what I've been telling people since. People were attacking me. People were saying I don't like him because I said he's not a central midfielder, and I don't think he will get into the team ahead of Ndidi or any of the central midfielders that we have. Getafe played him as a forward, even played him as a striker. This one, so far, is one game. They've played him as a forward as well. Let's see how things continue for him. But I'm very happy for him, man. The guy is a bright young player, hungry. And who knows, man? Who knows? In another 2-3 years, maybe he can be at Arsenal.
Jesse.
But yeah, shout out to Christantus Uche. Shout out to Christantus Uche. Okay, just before we move on, speaking of people that come online to just come and fight me, I realized, the XXX person I was commenting, I realized who the person was.
Okay.
Because the person went on Instagram and made another comment, but how you feel just compare two different handwriting, just compare the sentence structure, they are saying the same things, just put two and two together. I said, no, this person. Then I DM the person. I said, so it's you that is making this comment. It's not me. Listen, I said, please. I've looked at everything. I know that is you. He said, no, it's not me. I promise this one. I knew that it was him. And the funniest part of the whole thing is that
is it your guy?
It's not that I know. It's not. I don't know the person personally. But you are following
me.
Was he
regular on Instagram?
He comments every now and then. But my own thing is, you're following me on Instagram. It's not like you're following a good tracker. You came to follow my personal page. And I always wonder these things. If you don't like me, you don't like my opinions, you say you don't like my show, then why are you following my life? If you follow Eagles Tracker, I understand. Maybe you don't like me, but you want to see the updates. You want to know how Nigerian players are performing. I understand. But you come and follow my own personal page. We'll be saying my own personal life I post, but you don't like me. You don't like my show. You don't like what I do. You don't like how I talk. So why are you following me? And that's something that I've realized. Like, when they say your haters are your biggest fans, it's very true. Because there's another person again, that one Helena person, I don't know if you've seen that person before, that is always fighting me. Any comment I make, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. But then you use one account to follow me. I remove that account. You use a second account to follow me again. And it's like, is it by force? I don't understand it. I don't mind it too much, because at the end of the day, the Bible says that thou prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies. So I don't care. You can come and see my progress and see my growth, and you can be upset about it. But I just wonder, like, if you truly don't like somebody, if you truly don't like their comments, you don't like what they do, why are you staying there? This is social media where there's a million pages that you can follow, but you choose to follow me, but you come online to come and attacking me every time. I don't understand it, but it's part of the life. I never even be celebrity, so if I now have 10 million followers, what would they be like? Sometimes I understand. I understand why Boniface they attack people on social media. Somebody said you followed me because I'm a Chelsea fan.
You're just joking. I
know he's playing, but I'm saying that one. You see, Adiola says that's what we call monitoring spirit. Really, monitoring spirit. But yeah, shout out to XXX, man. Thank you for your engagement, whether or not it's positive or negative. Okay, let's move forward to live.
Yeah.
Under 20 World Cup is coming up.
Yeah.
Coach Ali Zuberu has released his 20-man list. 20-man list for the tournament. Of course, the team is headlined by Captain Daniel Bam Bam Bamei. Let me go through the list very, very quickly. We have Ebenezer Akinsanmiro of Sporting Lagos, Clinton Ezekiel of Bayelsa, Rufai Abubakar of Marvelon FC, the goalkeepers. Defenders, we have Ocheche Amos Onyejefu of Rem, Odinaka Okoro of Sporting Lagos, Daniel Bamei of Bayelsa United, but he just joined a team in Slovenia, Trivoje, yes. Marvelous, Avribosu of Ikorodu City, Alatan Azuka of 36 Lions, Akinle Ahmed Olamide of Remo Stars. Midfielders, we have Israel Ayuma of NK Istra, Emmanuel Ekwocho of FC Montana in Bulgaria, Mustafa Kamaldeen of Kwara Football Academy, Daniel Daga, Moda FC Norway, Awal Ibrahim, Aqua United, Nasiru Saliu, Kabala in Azerbaijan, Achichi Ose of Antwerp in Belgium, Sani Suleiman of AS Trenchin in Slovakia, Tahir Maigana of Wireless FC, Parobo Areri of Lillestrøm, Charles Agaba of NK Istra, and Abdullahi Shitu Ele of Manchester City FC in England. Smilai, I know that you are very knowledgeable when it comes to these youth teams, when it comes to these youth players. What do you think about this team? And what are the prospects in the Under-20 World Cup?
It's just somebody of Man City. I know maybe you try and investigate that person of Man City. Sometimes if you Google your name and it's coming like Facebook, Instagram, that means that that person is nowhere. Is there any attachment with that boy to Man City? He went to go and snap picture in a trading venue with Man City, this thing. What is any attachment? There's no attachment, AyoT, that the boy plays for Man City. And one thinker director somewhere sitting in Abuja and sign off that list. See, AyoT, we're in a deep mess. We're in a very deep mess. This is a year of social media. It happened to Nigeria in the past before when one boy came to lie to us that he was from Barcelona. And it was this your friend, allnigeriasoccer.com, that was projecting the boy. There was nothing attaching about that boy. Is called Boniface. There was no attachment between that boy and Barcelona. I think that one don't pass small. Again, look at what they are doing again. Man City. One person is in Marvelon FC that is the owner of Nigerian youth football. A single person is having like 4 or 5 players here. Rufai is Marvelon and with his agent LFR also. What's it called? There's one other boy there, the midfielder. Is he Emmanuel Eke Okwamson, something like that? But I think the boy plays in one of these maybe Bulgaria also.
Yeah,
there's Chas Agada there,
Yes.
There's about 4 players. Is he the only person that owns Nigerian youth system? The same thing with the under 17 too. You see Marvel. The best academy in Nigeria is Beyond Limit. Only Parobo Areri is the only product of Beyond Limit coming out of his that made its team. See, maybe probably I don't know. Maybe you're gonna ask me based on defenders and but what I just say basically is that this we're not really serious in this country. I can tell you for that we're not really serious in this country. It shows that this is like a cash for sports. I see it that way. Though with due respect, there's some talented players here, but we have better players all over the world than the people that actually were selected. So I wish him best of luck. But you can ask me that okay, maybe probably Parobo Areri as usual. I'm big up some Parobo Areri that is going to actually deliver. There is a boy. There was the right back from Reims, Uche. The boy is good. He plays for Reims second division, Reims B team. The boy is good. Ezekiel Clayton, the goalkeeper from Bicester Queens. I saw the boy first when the boy was playing for Calabar Rovers. Calabar, what a goalkeeper. But issue with him is that he's not really blessed with height, So that's what he's a very, very good shot stopper. For me, better than even Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. So I'm happy he made this team. Rufai will make this team because he's from Vanvo and he saved the penalties in the third place games that we played against. Was it against Egypt? So Abamayi is already there, ageless Daniel Abamayi, and also
Ageless.
he's ageless. He has been playing this thing for the past 6 years. He's ageless. And
He started young now. Even Daniel Daga started young.
how can somebody start playing on a year under 20 at the year 14? You know, now crossed on 17, crossed on this thing. I see. You know, on paper it's like Daniel Daga and Abamayi is age mate on paper. So for me, I wish them the best. I wish the best of luck. How they could do. But there was a boy that made the list from Antwerp. You know, I don't know if you mentioned the boy's name from
Yeah, I
Antwerp.
did.
It's like a very good left winger. You know, he can actually do some things. But there's a better player than him in Antwerp that plays in Nigerian too. It's called Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah. Yes. Gabriel Jesus.
It's called Gabriel Jesus. So you know, I just hope, but it's just that this is like the very bad thing, you know, Nigerian football. A year that we are struggling to go to the World Cup, we're still depending on under 20 to actually perform well, and somebody just came up with this list. For me, not a good list. I hope that he can go there and go and surprise me.
Okay, let's talk about specific positions here. So we have Clinton Ezekiel, Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, and Rufai Abubakar. You expect Akinsanmiro to be the starting goalkeeper, or are we looking at Clinton?
I think Akinsanmiro is going to be starting goalkeeper. I think he is actually what selected. You know, it was Nathan Unwosu that was the first choice initially, but when he fumbled in the first game in the WAFU B, the coach changed him to Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. You know, fresh from the Cup, the one in Sweden. Forgot the one in Sweden. You know the one in Sweden, eh?
Yeah,
it was fresh. It was Gotia Cup. Sorry, fresh from Gotia Cup. So since then, Ebenezer Akinsanmiro has been first choice. So and when he got injured, I wouldn't get a crash out. So for me, I think Ebenezer Akinsanmiro is going to be the first choice. I think closely followed by Clinton Ezekiel. Very, very good shot stopper too.
Okay. Defenders, who, I mean, of course, we know that Daniel Bambam is the captain of the side. But which other players are you excited about in the defense? You know, they only took 6 defenders, so players are going to have to play most of the competition for us. But anybody else here? I mean, Okoro of Sporting Lagos, I think we know Okoro fairly well.
Yeah. I think Odinaka Okoro is going to be the first choice left back. I think Daniel Dambemeyi will actually will be the one starting, you know, in that central defense. I think the Maigeri, the regular first choice as a right back, got injured on the eve of the tournament. So he replaced by the boy from Reims. That's Onushi from Reims. So it's like probably Onushi from Reims will be starting, you know, in this tournament. So Ahmed Akinyele, you know, of Remo Stars, you know, he got called up after a very good performance during this Latin Sports Festival, you know, and he did well. So I think Ahmed Akinyele, Bamayi, Osheshi, Amos, and Odinaka Okoro will be the ones to be in the defense. Yeah.
Okay. Midfielders, I mean, we know Israel Ayuma, you know, who plays in Croatia. We know, of course, Daniel Daga. We know Awal Ibrahim. You know, do you think that those guys are supposed to be the key midfield players, or are we looking at other players here like Emmanuel or Mustafa Kamaldeen that can become key and start in the tournament?
Mustafa Kamaldeen is still playing academic football in Kwara State, and I don't know the reason why they picked Mustafa Kamaldeen ahead of the final DC. You know, that has been with the team from day one. You know, only Ali Zubero can answer those questions. You know, in Nigeria, you don't defend list. It's like INEC list. Just go and submit it. That's by. So for me, I think that Ndaga will play a very key role in this team along with Israel Ayuma. You know, in that central, you know, midfield actually position. So Emmanuel Eke Ekowosio can also play as a central defender. So it's another option, central defender. So, but his major role is a defensive midfielder. So I think that guy will be the one. So Nasiru Saliu is coach boy. You know, he left Economic Warriors for Azerbaijan. So maybe coach is his agent. I'm just saying that allegedly, but you know, he's also a very good player. But I just think that Awal Ibrahim, Nasiru Saliu, they're not really top there. So it's going to be between Emmanuel Eko Wusho, Israel Ayuma, and then Daniel Daga. If he's going to play a 3-man defense, 3-man midfield.
Awal Ibrahim, you don't think will start?
The problem is just the lack of concentration, from Awa. Awa will do the good thing in 10 minutes, might be off for 90 minutes. So, that is one thing about Awa. Awa did so well in the first game against Tunisia, but since then, he didn't perform well at all. So, what do you want to say?
Okay. Going over to the forwards, I mean, we have Barobo Areri, who has had a good start for John Dalen in Norway on loan from Lillestrøm. We have Charles Agaba, of course. One player that I actually quite like in this attack is Sani Suleiman. I've been following him very closely for AS Trenchin in Slovakia, and he's been doing quite well there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do there. But are there any other players, or who are you really looking forward to seeing play in our attack here?
I think Tahiri by Ghana, of Wireless FC, he's a grassroots player, he's a player that was displaced by Boko Haram, in Borno State, in the IDP camp, he could fight himself to represent Nigeria. That's a very beautiful story actually, and this is like a victory for grassroots. If my Ghana actually would get to play very well in Chile. So, and if you have watched my Ghana, it was in the WAFU tournament, and he actually did well. So, another player I will have to say you should watch out for is Charles Agada. In fact, they don't sell them to nearly every club. In fact, they even say that it's in QPR, in anywhere. But he's a player that he's got quality. He plays like Sergio Aguero. So he's very petite, but he's very strong on the ball. So this is the chance now. When you play for under 17, Nigeria did not qualify for the World Cup. So, and people say, "Oh, Agada missed out on a very big deal. So Nigeria qualify." But this is not the chance for Agada to perform on the world stage. So if the coach can trust him enough to start alongside Parobo in the 4-4 formation, or he probably come on from the bench, I think Agada will actually what we do well. The Agada I know will do well. I don't know, maybe he's now used to Louis Vuitton, but the Agada I knew when he was in Marvel will perform well.
Do you know if he's related to William Agada?
No, I don't know. I don't
forward who plays in the USA.
No, I don't think I have any. I don't think I know that.
Okay.
Yes. So also Ashishi of Royal Antwerp. I think the forward line might be Ashishi, Sulaiman, and Parobo. Yes.
Okay. I mean, they kick off against Norway on the 29th of September before playing Saudi Arabia and then playing Colombia to wrap up the group stage.
Yeah.
Do you see them comfortably getting past this group?
Yeah, I think they should do enough to beat Norway and Saudi Arabia, but they will meet their match when they play against Colombia, because Colombia also have similar history with us. I don't want to go into that. So it's going to be bone for bone, and strength for strength. So, but I think I fancy them against Norway and Saudi Arabia. Okay. So I think that one should be good enough to take them to the second round. Or we call it a second round.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's talk about some players that were not selected. People are talking about Divine Olise not being selected. Some people said there's another name that has been widely mentioned. The name is
Kingsley Jefta.
There's Jefta. There's even another name that I was thinking of before.
What about the player that says that you got to pay
more? No, yeah, don't worry. I'm going to talk about that. Okay. But I mean, are there any players that you feel like should have made this team? That there's Hafiz Umar. But that one apparently was not released by his team. But of course Hafiz Umar is one of those players that you would have expected to be in the team. But are there any other players that you feel like should have been in the squad?
The coach wanted Hafiz Umar. The coach wanted Taye Yusuf of Olympiacos. He wanted Taye Yusuf, but the Olympiacos did not release him. For the tournament, the coach wanted the boy from Offenham, but I don't think Offenham. The boy from, is it Benjamin Shuku? Benjamin also, Benjamin Shuku. I think Offenham registered him for the Bundesliga. So, but currently he's with 2, but they registered him for the Bundesliga. His friend is also, is it Emmanuel something? His friend went on loan to Austrian Superliga. So that one too wasn't available. So a lot of players were available. But for me, a player that was available that wasn't selected was actually what Divine Olise. He was part of the team during the WAFUB qualifiers. He went to the AFCON. He also played at the last WAFU tournament. It was, you understand the team very well. He can play up front, he can play in the midfield. Very good talent. He's a guy that is very young. See, if I'm saying that a guy is very young, because I know when he's a very young. In fact, the guy cannot be older than that age. They call it. He can't. He's very young, and for him to be playing at that level, there's a big future, in front of the Divine Olise. I don't know what the reason why the coach has tell you, because the coach called from Kwara. The boy has not been part of the team. Maybe it's a good player, Mustafa Kamadin. Maybe it's a good player, that the coach wants to tie, but I don't know anything about Mustafa Kamadin. So I just know that the guy is a very, very good player, Divine Olise. And why he was dropped, I can't question that. In fact, FIFA asked them to select 23 players. I know when Nigeria is going with 21.
20.
Yes. So 20 is
Precious Benjamin as well, who was the forward at the under 20 AFCON, is not.
Yeah, Benjamin he was forward, and Chukwu Emmanuel was the
center back.
Center back. Center back. So it's like a big change from the AFCON team. He has to drop his own son, which is my Gary at the right back. So like for example now, only 2 defenders surviving from the AFCON team.
So that bodes the question here. Like, why is it that we cannot properly identify players? The fact that between an under 20 AFCON, that took place, when was it? In May of this year, and September, a few months, maybe 3-4 months, that the team has changed so much. Is it like, what's the reason for that? Are we not identifying talents properly, or are players dropping off and other players are stepping up? Like, what exactly is the reason?
No, it's corruption that is leading to all this. Now we say it here. If you coach like you take him to court, it's corruption is leading to us here, because some players, they will only get selected for the WAFU B, and European clubs will buy them. Maybe that's what they actually were paid for. They leave. That's what they do. The other person with assets will come. If you look at the team that play WAFU B, for example, now the center defense was Pamayi and Sayu. There's one guy from the guy is from FC Doma FC. The boy is from Doma FC. The boy is not going with the team. He was different with a partner in Egypt. The guy in Egypt too is no longer there again. Different to when he went to Ghana. So they just keep on chopping and changing. So it's like they don't. It's not about scouting. It's just that some players come to the team to join European clubs, and that's it. So it's not as if they want to keep a bunch of group. I believe they're the most talented. So the time that we've had a very good R20, we kept them in camp for so long. But this team have done the chopping and changing. In fact, I even heard there was a time that this coach was camping teams in Kwara, doing illegal camping in Kwara himself, not authorized by the NFL. See, when we get to some stage, we'll talk about more about that.
And I mean, you mentioned corruption, and I will say this. I mentioned this on your stream on Friday as well. Allegedly, because I don't have evidence other than somebody's word of mouth. But an under 20 player informed, that they had asked him to pay.
Which country is he playing?
If I say it, it'll be too obvious.
Too obvious? Which country?
No, he plays in Europe. I will say that.
If you say the country, they count the gap in a different country.
If I say the country, people will know immediately who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If I say the country, you will know. And I mean, he didn't ask me to put his information out there, so I don't want to betray the trust. But he had mentioned that it was like, the thing is so funny that he doesn't understand what was going on. That he had asked him to pay 10 million naira to be a part of the team, and eventually, when the money hadn't been paid at 6 a.m., they told him to leave the camp. That he had been dropped from the squad. And then he said that if he was even looking for a club, maybe he could have even said, okay, let him go and look for the money and how to pay, because he needs to sell himself. But the boy already has a club. He's playing in Europe. He's doing well at the level that he's playing at, and is trying to come up. So he said he does not understand it, that it surprised him that they would ask him for money like that. That he's the one that paid flights from his team to come down to Nigeria to join the camp, to train. They did not cover anything. And then for them to now ask him to pay 10 million, that he wishes that he knew that this was what was going to happen before, so that he would not just even have wasted his time, and he would have stayed with his club and continued training. They said that between him and his club, they need to find a way to pay the money. Otherwise, there's no way he can get into the team. he said that the things that he saw in that camp, that he cannot even begin to talk about it. The kinds of players that were invited and all sorts of things, that the corruption is too much. This was what that 20 player was saying, and it just speaks to what you're talking about when you say that a lot of corruption is involved in this thing. They want certain players that maybe have relationships with certain people, or certain players that they want to be able to market and be able to sell. And I think if this thing is really happening, which I'm inclined to believe that it is obvious why we're not progressing at the rate that we should be progressing, because people are not making the best decisions because they want to make decisions that benefit them. Because had that boy paid the 10 million that they allegedly asked him to pay now, maybe now one coach or now one person could just pocket the money and just be like, okay, fine, now you get the chance to go. And he might not even play, but just to be able to say you went to that 20 World Cup it's very, very shameful. And this fact that things like this happen in our system.
It's also, let me just give you one example too. A player that we have been shouting about here, hey, this player, jollof rice, fried rice, chicken. The player was on the verge of being dropped from the age grade tournament. He went to it was in Nigeria, and the story was that there was a mistake in one guy's passport. That's why they brought in that guy. That guy eventually became the best player for Nigeria. So what I'm just trying to say is that you mentioned corruption. Do you know how corruption already destroyed Nigeria youth football? You know that we don't produce players that can actually represent Nigeria. Maybe probably in 10 years, 5 years time. That's the problem we actually have with our grassroots football. For example, I mentioned they took 24 players to AFCON in Egypt. So there was a player that could not even carry his boot. He couldn't even know how to use boot. He was the only player that did not play in the under 20 AFCON. How did that boy make the team? How did that boy make the team? Suddenly, too, I will see coach in when it's about 2 minutes at the end of the game. Coach will change like 4 players in AFCON. Why is he doing? Is it to maybe to give them so that they can see that they're also playing? For me, there's a lot of things that I see there. It's so bad. It's so bad. Somebody mentioned a player here now that I know a lot of information about that player, but I wouldn't like to say it here because I put information. These people collect more than 10 million AyoT. I know of somebody here, but you might be listening to me now. His player, maybe it's probably escaped through and things like that. He's 70-30. So to tell you, if the guy did not agree, the boy is not going. So one particular agent had 4 players in this team. 4 players in this team. So, the team that they will invite you guys could come and pay for bed. That's what they do. Come and pay for bed. They invite you. Who invite you? Bed don't finish you. Go and pay for bed. Imagine national team duty. Tell the NFF, AyoT, when last did they pay like Asisat Oshoala, and how is he surviving? How much did Asisat Oshoala have in his account before he became an athletic coach? And how much is he having now? Let's know. It's not as if I'm saying that he's corrupt. Let's know. See, NFF is they are the problem of all. They are the problem, honestly, in my own opinion. Because at the end of the day, you don't pay these guys. What do you expect them to do? EFCC, instead of going after Yahoo boys, they need to investigate Asisat Oshoala. How much all the PAs, people working with Asisat Oshoala, they should investigate them. The same thing with Manu Garba. They should investigate them. Because we can't continue like this, AyoT. The best players will not have an opportunity to actually want to play. If you don't know anybody, go home. When they ask you for, from who? Imagine. Not be national institution can be this. They will ask you, from who? There's no bed though. Yeah. Call your guy to come and share. But in their bed they do. However, we don't get very far. So yeah, you go buy, like national team, like buy and selling. AyoT is very crazy. NFF for that is Ibrahim Gusso. Oh my days. It's crazy, AyoT.
It is indeed crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say in terms of hoping that things get better, because if you hope, but nothing is being implemented, hope is not going to change anything. We actually have to get people to start making changes.
Who are the people that we started? The people that you say we started,
They're the ones doing it.
On 94. They are the one bringing players to these coaches.
Mm.
The one that you say that, okay, is the authority from their above in Abuja. They're also involved in this corruption. They're also involved. Who will now change it? Who will now change it? It's like thief, steal them. Another thief, steal them again. That is how it is. So nobody to change it. See, one legend of our game, he benefited from a system of free and fair. But he's the one now corrupting the system. Why? Is it because Nigeria were not organized? Why? They will impose player on the coach, and the coach too say, okay, you impose, so you go bring in people to join. There's some players here now. They are from Adisubero. It will go top. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy indeed. But do you think we have a chance to win the Under-20 World Cup?
I don't think we can win it. But I think the boys too, the boys too.
What final?
As usual. I think the final will be good, but it depends on how they perform in the first game. If they cannot beat Norway in the first game, I think they might be coming home earlier than expected.
Okay. Well, in Group F, like I mentioned, Norway, Saudi Arabia, Colombia, and then we'll wait and see who we get in the other round. But it is a shame. It is a shame.
Sorry, let me just say something. Simi, I think you said that we need football people. Who are the football people that we need? See, who are the football people that we need? The football people that you are mentioning, you are thinking about, Timi Adeniji. They are the most corrupt. They are the one trying to destroy the system. They are the ones.
Okay.
It's sad.
Let's move forward. Wishing them all the best. Wishing the team the very best. The players, hopefully they perform and they're able to move on and progress from there. You know what else is crazy? It's crazy that about half of you guys have not liked this video yet. So please, if you are watching, click the like button. If you have, I see so many comments are pouring in, and I appreciate you guys' comments, but some of you you're not sending them with the super chats that are required for us to really, really talk about them and answer the question that you have. So guys, please don't forget, send super chats if you have a question, if you have a suggestion, if you have a comment I want us to highlight. And of course, just as a way that you can support the channel and support the content that we create and the work that we do. Everything is appreciated. If it's £1, you have £1, $1, $10, 1,000. Everything is greatly appreciated. So guys, please keep the super chats coming. Support the stream, support the content. Thank you very much. Victor Kobam, printing some things that I don't want to put on screen. Made a no come to the podcast. Somebody says it's people like you that are supposed to be calling them out. Why be reserved with information? It is okay if you shame them. What do you think?
See, there's some things that you get the info and you don't want to reveal your source because your source might be in problem. For example, now, there was a Nigerian coach that they collected from the airport. The gift they bought for him. They went to the airport to go and collect it from him. So he took marijuana home. The story is not even. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But these people, can you shame person when they get shamed? You can't, because somebody released a press statement. Why is the guy not out of his job now? Because it's a very corrupt system. If you shame them, see, there's no shame. You can't shame those who don't get shame. There's nothing. It's like you're going to do anything. You're going to do anything. That is it.
Speaking of somebody that released a press statement, let's get into that. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock. Of course, by now you will know that the Super Eagles of Nigeria played their 2 World qualifying matches for September, beat Rwanda, and then drew 1-1 against South Africa. And the South Africa result was very disappointing for us, and of course made our hopes slimmer than we would have liked them to be at this stage in the qualifying series. We don't need 2 games left to play. And after the game, the NFF posted the usual match reports that they post. After the game, they usually post to tell us what happened in the game. And in their match reports, they had a relatively slanderous statement, a paragraph about Panathinaikos striker Cyril Dessers. Essentially, just talking about his performance. Let me read it verbatim, just in case anybody hasn't heard or seen what the NFF published about Cyril Dessers. So they said Dessers, who had an unimpressive game in Uyo, where he turned out to be a substitute that was substituted, did not have a better game as he was too slow to that transit passes, could not win error balls, and did little in bringing alive the Nigerian attack. Of course, after they published this, I posted it. A lot of media posted about it, and a lot of backlash, came towards the NFF because again, even if people in the media are going to slander a player, not the federation throwing a player under the bus, it should just not be happening. They eventually went and edited the article and removed that paragraph from the article. But then, when something like this happens, the people who just use their personal vendettas or their emotions to use a public space, public platform to make this kind of comment about a player, and not just a public platform, but a platform that is supposed to be the one that protects players. The person faces no consequences. The person says nothing about it. The person goes on with their life. Nobody is held accountable. But then the player has had his trust betrayed by his own federation. How do you feel about this, Lai, and how sad is it that stuff like this happens in our football?
It's sad. It's sad. And IoT, because we don't have people in charge, people that actually want professional enough to be in charge of our football. See, these are your players. You are the image maker. You should be the one to write something to appeal to Nigerians, and actually what. But you are the one bringing out your emotions. See, this guy in question, Ademola Lajere, has been in the game for so long, very experienced. But when you are a professional, you have to remove your emotions. You have to be able to write properly. I know he was disappointed in Team actually what do, but it was like he had these guys in mind and he put out that information. In the same society, it should not be in that job now. But who will sack him? When he knew exactly where in August they win and they peace. Who will sack him? Nobody. Because he knew the secret of those that we want to query him. The worst they could do is to come and the next day and come and say, we don't know anything about it. Though. And they ask the guy to go and delete it. And also to say NFF is not against Ekong and Pisa. That's just how Nigeria, how they actually was. For me, it's really embarrassing. This is not the first time I'm going to do it. He did it in 2010, World Cup. I think he threw one player under the bus. He did it and was this Donny Aisha Buhari's Cup to Aparanozie. So he has been doing that for a very long time. And nobody will question you. Last time he did it for Aparanozie because of one of those issues like slightly divided. Some people like her. Some other people don't actually like her. So when he made that publication against Aparanozie, people not really raise any eyebrow, against, because he was just enjoying himself. But for an elderly man like that, doing a job like if he's a primary six, this is a really, really embarrassing time for Nigeria. And I hope the guys, this doesn't set like a bad signal to players that want to play for Nigeria. The anytime you don't play for Nigeria, it's your NFF that will throw you at the bus. For me, in the same society, Nigeria should not be image maker of the NFF. Honestly, he should be sacked. I don't care if he's a man and wants to feed his family, he should be sacked.
I honestly am inclined to 100% agree with you. I don't think he should still be there. If you misuse your platform like that, if you misuse your role, I think that you should be let go from the job. But like you said, who is the person? Who is the person that is going to sack him? Again, you say that he knows the secret, he knows all the things that they do, and if that is true, then those people cannot come out and say anything against him. It is rather unfortunate. If I was with Desas, I could just reason I'm saying, I'm waiting on heaven they do with this thing. If not that, Desas probably wants to play and wants to show himself, and of course wants to be an international player. Other than that, really, why is he killing himself? Why is he spending all this energy? And it's unfortunate that stuff like this continues to happen. I wish they wouldn't act like this, but when they do, it does not surprise me by any means. It really doesn't surprise me. we know that these people act anyhow. We know that they do anyhow, and unfortunately, we have no power to change anything. So we just accept it as it is, and the players also just accept it as it is. And it's just very very sad, man. I saw some players reacted to it. Asisat Oshoala posted it on her story and said, "When you're supposed to protect your own." Some other players spoke about it privately. I spoke to one or two players about it privately. They didn't want to make any public statements, but every player is very disappointed. Excuse me, very disappointed that something like that will happen. But unfortunately, they cannot really speak up because a lot of them have a lot to lose. They're not going to invite you again, one thing or the other. And these people, whenever you call them out, whenever you speak, you don't want to call them out. You just speak up to them and not take nonsense. They start to treat you anyhow. I spoke about already what they did to some players at the WAFCON, and things like that. It's just rather unfortunate. It's just rather unfortunate. It's just rather unfortunate.
It's so sad.
Still on that game. Sports journalists Osasu Obiwana, he released a comment on social media talking about an alleged interaction between Ola Aina and the NFF president Ibrahim Busso. He said that Ola Aina queried the president and was quite upset about the fact that the NFF did not do anything or did not do enough to protect the players from the terrible playing surface that they had to face in South Africa. Of course, we know that Ola Aina got injured in that match, and Wilfred Ndidi also got injured in that match. Ola Aina is now going to be out for 3 months, even potentially missing the AFCON that is coming up in December. He described it as a furious dressing room argument. Is it good that a player like Ola Aina, who has now become a relatively senior player in the team, would call them out and complain about something like this? Because we know how terrible that playing surface was, and our players are constantly not given the right facilities, not given the right, what's the word, given the right welfare, and they're not protected enough. Are you happy that Ola Aina reportedly had this argument with the NFF?
When do you want to continue to be a baby? All I know is like 27, 28 now. He's one of the senior players in that team. I think he made his debut in 2017, for Nigeria. So all I know is going to like 10 years. It's like 8 years in that team. So if all I know cannot speak up for his teammates, when would I not be able to speak up? I've heard the news, the rumor at the start, that he went to them, the officials, that how come they won't allow them to play on this pitch? And anything that Adayi Ibrahim Guzo got from this, deserve it. He's so incompetent. He's like probably the worst NFF president I've seen in Nigeria. I've been complaining about Ibrahim Galadima, but this guy doesn't know jack about football. See, let me tell you something. If you want to plan and win, you have to have advanced party to go and check it first. It's when you can lodge complaint. Nigeria lodged complaint that it wasn't good, but it was feel that's okay. Why didn't you send advanced party to go and check it? To go and know, to go and check it that this pitch is not good enough for these guys to play. No, you just call them to them like animals to go and play on that katsu, on that rice field. That was really embarrassing. AyoT, this pitch looks like the primary school when I grew up in Nigeria. All those, they call it koriko, all those weeds, in between. Horrible pitch, rubble pitch. And talking about the team not even doing well, it's part of it. AyoT. It's not only Rwanda away from home that will give us the World Cup tickets. Nigeria only sent advanced party to Rwanda to go and check Rwanda. But when it becomes Zimbabwe, the 3 billion when they give them don't finish. They can't even say they want to go and check Bloemfontein. Why would this guy be furious? These guys are on 90k, 100k per week. You carry them, put for like Shandin, come play for this useless pitch to end their career. This guy now, they've removed his name from the Premier League team. The way it is now, it's going to be very difficult for him to be back to the team because he's a new coach now. It's not Nuno Espirito Santos. So if the defense is stable, which is not stable for now, if the defense is stable and the team is doing well, it's going to be very hard for him to fight and regain that trust. A player that was the best right back, top 2 right back in the whole of England last time around. So we should do better, AyoT. We should do better. These guys they know nothing about football. And anything, any altercation, any call out that they gave him, I think Ibrahim Goes deserve it. This guy has been dreadful.
No, I agree with you. I think it is very well deserved. I think that they need to do better. They need to protect players more. They need to treat players better. And I just hope that this would give more players the confidence to speak up ahead of time, not only when things have gone wrong. Ahead of time. I know that it's not the easiest thing for players to do when they're still in the system, but I think that at some point, you can suffer in silence, suffer behind the scenes. At some point, if you don't speak to somebody and tell them that you are going through what you are going through and let people support you, it's going to be very hard for the person that is causing you to suffer to change, because they feel protected and they feel like nothing can be done. And I know that people that are watching, we don't have the power to go and remove Ibrahim Gusso or to do anything, but at least we can continue to speak about these things. We can make people aware. We can, put that external pressure on them a little bit. Maybe
when we speak about this, is it people that they are buying tea for?
I mean, and that's the unfortunate part, because I always say again, all due respect to everybody that works and does their job, but when you are part of the mainstream, when you think of all these popular photojournalists or all these people that work in Nigerian media, football media space, that want a seat on the plane when they are going for friendlies or when they are going for tournaments, they are begging, let us use your plane. You want to be close to these people. You can't speak up about it now because, I don't want to name names, but imagine if he should call out Ibrahim Gusso now. Next time, who's going to give him access? Who's going to do all these things? And unfortunately, that's not how it should work, because we know that media in any sane society, media is unbiased. Media, not to be fair,
independent too.
Every media has some kind of bias, if we're being honest. But media should be independent and should not be able to not say certain things. It's only a Marinaki Sabi that banned Gary Neville from from their stadium because he don't like what he was saying. But normally, media should be able to say whatever they want to say, and there should be no consequences for the media because they have that right. But our own people will never speak up. They will unlook. They will act as if they don't know what is going on. They will rather be tweeting about which girl has big yansh or who is winning one other thing that is irrelevant. They will just act as if they don't know it is going on when these things are happening. And it is very sad. But then those some people, when it's time to bash players, when it's time to talk about certain other things that are negative towards the individual players, they are ready to do it. Only the ones, unless the player is somebody that is flying them to come and celebrate, to come and eat on boat, then they protect that player. We need to do better. We need to do better. Our media needs to do better, And yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. That's why I'm grateful for a platform that I've created like this. I'm grateful for people like yourself, Smith Layi, and people that actually care to speak up and protect these players and say when things are not being done properly. Because the reality of it is that the overwhelming majority of the Nigerian football media people, especially the ones that are more mainstream, they don't say this. They don't say this.
See, I've never seen any tweet apart from football tweets on your platform. But the same tweets you see to promote football. Somebody is used to retweet Victoria Guinea. When that man was playing. The same account, Big Brother, Jollof Rice, Big Boss Jollof Rice. The same account. And the same account for Mohbad. It's our people. I don't know. That's why sometimes I just keep quiet.
Yeah.
So I've never seen a live interview.
They have to record it and cut.
Cut. Ibrahim Gusso to come alive and come and discuss, come and open debate. See, NFF is one of the most arrogant organizations. If you call the secretary now for interview, it will snub you. It doesn't care. It will snub you. They don't talk. When they want to talk, it's Madam Shehu Diko that will be talking. Is it the NFL president? Is it the NFL president? This man does not talk, doesn't know. And if you want to talk, you will call my friend Sugar. Okay, maybe be your people just to talk in front of them. It's people that will offload. Is it guy in the TVC? What's it called? Is it one guy? The guy doing sport in TVC. I don't know. If I feel a Fogwe, I don't know. I think maybe probably the media officer of them. We talk in front of them. That is all. And they will edit before they bring it out. The day he did live during a chest unveiling, he meals Miss Yani. Throughout, just to tell him the type of person we have in our football. Oh my days. This guy, I can't wait for his turn to finish. Well, I know that we're going to talk more about him now.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps giving us reason to talk about him. So, what can we say? We're almost out of time now. We still have a few things that I wanted to talk about. We might have to maybe cut some part out. But something that I want us to touch on. Smith Layi, you've been our biggest optimist right from time. Since before the match friendlies, you've been optimistic about the Super Eagles and about their chances of qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in 2026.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 games left.
Yeah.
We just dropped points against South Africa. We are still 6 points behind South Africa. Smith Layi, what are our chances? Help us do the permutations, help us do the calculations to save people like me the mental stress. What are our chances of actually qualifying for this World Cup?
I will say this thing, I said it before, that Group C is one of the most difficult and the more competitive group in our World Cup qualifiers. And one thing I love people don't know is that Nigeria could be on top of this group in October. Before you don't know, if Rwanda beats Benin Republic, and maybe probably one thing or the other, South Africa failed to beat Zimbabwe, lost against Zimbabwe, and FIFA and that dreaded point deduction, which will happen. 4 teams will be on 14 points, and probably Nigeria will be ahead on goals difference. So there's still a lot of things to play for, but that is not just my, where I think Nigeria will finish. I think the playoff is where I think Nigeria might probably have a chance of qualifying. And the reason why is this. I've been hearing from different media organizations that Hope is lost, Gabon is 19 points, Burkina Faso is on 15 points, DR Congo is on 16 points, we can make it on 11 points. See, if you go and check the competition rule, when there is an uneven team, not equal teams in different groups, when they want to calculate the best place team, they have to compare the second place team, the best second place team, they have to compare them based on the same number of games. Because a team like Tanzania cannot play 10 games like other second place team. Tanzania can only play 8 games because of the withdrawal of Eritrea. So they have to remove the results of the last team in each group from the second place team. They will now compare them. If you look at Gabon, they are on 19 points. Because they beat Seychelles twice, they will be on 13 points. Burkina Faso, they are on 15 points. Because they beat Djibouti twice, they go be on 9 points. DR Congo, they are on 16 points. Because they beat South Sudan twice, they will be on what? On 10 points. So when you compare the teams together, and in Nigeria's situation, if Nigeria could beat Zimbabwe and also Lesotho, if Nigeria could beat Lesotho and Benin Republic in the 2 final games, maybe probably Lesotho with more goals, Nigeria have a better chance of qualifying for the playoff. The playoff will be in Morocco in November. So it's going to be 2 games. They will, based on my calculation, Nigeria might probably be the highest ranked team in that playoff. So if Nigeria is the highest ranked team in that playoff, we go play against the two the lowest ranked team in that playoff. So, and the winner, we represent Africa in the intercontinental playoff. So hope is not lost. So when people are saying hope is lost, let them play this, I just think that the NFF should be aware of this, that they should take the assignment against Lesotho very serious. If Nigeria could beat Lesotho by at least 3 to 4 goals, Nigeria will be in contention to play in the playoff, no matter the point deduction, no matter what happens to Benin Republic or anybody. So, and just beating Benin Republic by a single goal in the last game, Nigeria will be in pole position to qualify for the playoff. So, I think that as usual in Nigeria, it is not all over or it is over. Let me tell you something. There's a film I used to watch when I was younger. It's the hard way and it's the only way. Nigeria like to do things in a very difficult way. So don't be surprised to see Nigeria winning this group next month. And don't be surprised too that Nigeria will be playing for playoffs, in November. So for me, I think any of those two, one of those two is actually what will happen for Nigeria. So I'm happy that Victor Osimhen is back. I'm happy that all the Ola Aina will be out for the two game. So we should go there and beat them very well. And I think Nigeria will be in contention again to play the playoff or even to qualify for the World Cup directly in that group. So that is my take on that.
Very well said, Smith Layi. And I don't know if you've done the permutation and combination, but as it stands, if they deduct the points like you explained, as it stands, would we be among the top second place teams?
No, currently now, you have to finish second first. That's number one.
Okay, we've not yet finished second.
But I said that we have to finish second first. So if we finish second, then that is when it's going to actually now happen. So they cannot use that result. They have to judge you based on the same number of results first in your group. But when they want to compare you with other groups, they compare you based on just 8 games. That is what actually will happen. So we have to finish. If we win our 2 games coming up, we'll finish second.
Because
we overtake Benin Republic and also Rwanda.
Win our 2 games.
Okay.
So you are optimistic that we can still secure a playoff spot?
I think so. Before I joined you, I was working, but I put Lesotho against Benin Republic, on one side, just trying to look at it. If we play the way they play against Zimbabwe in Uyo against Lesotho in South Africa, we go beat them not less than 4-0.
But you think there's no chance of winning the group again?
There's a chance because I was also monitoring Zimbabwe. People are talking about that selling games and everything. That Zimbabwe might probably try to allow South Africa to win. I think the coach Mark Niels is really under pressure in South Africa, and if he's not careful, say if he doesn't get results, in the October window, he might not be taking the team to the Africa. So I think he's also under pressure to get results against Africa. So for me, I think if South Africa draw against Zimbabwe in the next game, they are in deep mess.
Okay. Comments here from Sports Grinder, Super Chat comments. It says, Smith is correct in terms of the playoffs. I did some research and there are so many precedents of disregarding the points against last teams. Eritrea in 2010, North Korea in 2022. UEFA did the same thing for the 2022 World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
Sports Grinder is saying, yes, it has happened before.
No, even it's in the guidelines or your guideline. When your FIFA got in guideline, yeah.
I mean, I've kind of personally removed my mind from it because it's the hope that kills you, man. Nigerians will start to the hope again, start to the believe. God forbid now we'll go and draw against Lesotho.
In fact, it's even mean that at least the campaign that we don't have any Pisa at the World Cup. No.
As it is, assuming we win our remaining 2, let's say we win our remaining 2 games. We go to the playoffs. Let's say we qualify from Africa. Would you be confident in the team going to perform at the tournament?
Let me tell you something. If we go to the World Cup, we'll get some better players to play for us.
We'll get some other players.
Yes, to play for us.
That we're gonna be begging them to sing.
Not begging. Some other players will play for us, and that one can be a start of a building of enduring youth and good team. For example, now, you don't know what would happen. For me, if we didn't go to the World Cup, and a very shocking performance during AFCON would be a very new low for Nigerian football. So, for me, see, against the 48th team, imagine being in the same group with China. With due respect to them, with New Caledonia, AyoT, with due respect, if we cannot get results against those type of teams, I think we don't deserve to be there. So, yeah,
we've not been getting results
even against Oman. No.
Is Oman not better than Zimbabwe?
No, for me, I think on a good day in the European environment, I think if we go and play South Africa and Morocco, we'll beat them.
On good surface,
surface, no pressure, everything. We'll beat them. That's why I'm confident that if we qualify a player, we will win the playoff. Okay. Because it's going to be on a neutral venue. It's not going to be in New York.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Emeka Samuel. No comment attached, just supporting the stream. Much appreciated. Somebody said we know Fit beats Benin regardless. So this person says he doesn't expect us to beat Benin.
I think we will beat Benin. You can put your money on it. I think we'll beat Benin. See, by hook or by crook. If we can beat Lesotho, we'll beat Benin. By hook or by crook, we'll beat them.
One way or the other, they will find a way.
They will find a way. By any margin, AyoT. Any margin, they'll find a way.
Some people are saying Rwanda might beat South Africa. Do you see that happening?
Yes, I think
they beat South Africa already
2-0. And I think that the Rwanda team is the most dangerous team in this group. It's the most dangerous team in this group. So what I'm just thinking is that at the end of match day 9, 4 teams will be on 14 points. Then the 4 teams will be on 14 points. We play against each other in the final day. That is going to be boom. It's going to be like it's going to be nervous heading towards the goal, honestly. So for me, there's still a lot to happen. So I don't see South Africa winning 2 games left.
You don't see South Africa winning
2 games left. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see them winning 2 games left.
Let's see how that goes. Okay. Guys, if you want to join the stream, you'll have a few minutes. The link has been posted. Just make sure that you're well dressed. Make sure that we can see you, we can hear you, and we would like to hear your thoughts on anything that we've discussed today, from the players' performances to the Super Eagles to the 20 World Cup, to the FIFA World Cup in 2026 as well. You can call in now. Try to take as many people as possible. 3 minutes each to just air your thoughts. But Layi, final topic. Eric Chelle.
Yeah.
His future, some people are already against him. Some people are saying, he didn't do well at the Chan. He didn't beat South Africa. Some people are still supporting him. What do you think about the future of Eric Chelle? Do you think that his job is safe? Do you think that he's still the right man to lead the Super Eagles? And, how do you think he can perform for us going forward?
If Pesero and Finidi got 4 points from this possible 6, we won't be this stadium, AyoT. Will not be here. He's like the best performing Nigerian coach in this World Cup qualifiers. These are the worst ever World Cup qualifier in the history of Nigeria since 1966. So if we can be performing, he can perform this way, I think he's set to stay there. That there's the agenda that Eguavon should go and finish the job he started. It's at the AFCON equality. Why not? He's trying to project people out to try and put the coach under pressure. Not support him. Want to qualify the World Cup so that the job can be up for grabs. For me, I think he's the best man for the job. And anytime you see failure, people don't take responsibility. People are looking for who to sacrifice. What is the fault of Eric Chelle in this here? One, with Eric Chelle send his people to go and inspect Blue Fontaine. Even the man don't spend the money too much. Will he be the one to go and inspect Blue Fontaine? It's the job of this Jalamia wearing man. It's the job of Ibrahim Gusso to go and inspect that place and send probably advanced team to go and actually inspect that place. In my opinion, I think he deserves to stay there. But they can do the unthinkable and actually will look for a way to fire him and try and save their face. Now they're thinking that if they do go World Cup, we should go and fire this man. We now promised Nigeria one wide beard, coach from Europe, package him, says he will be the one to come and lead us for AFCON. And then say that is their last die. They want to look for somebody to want to save their soul because if the group of man AFCON, I probably need to like them extending that tenure as a board member of the NFF. So they're looking for different ways to save their face. But in Eric Chelle, we actually what we trust. They have used WAFCON, but it's because WAFCON is World Cup don't overshadow WAFCON qualifiers. They don't overshadow them. So the WAFCON is not trending again now. And
some
WAFCON,
people like us are still celebrating WAFCON.
Okay. And that WAFCON, they didn't really do well during that WAFCON, the NFF. So because the players complained, everybody got to complain. It's not as if it was perfect. So they didn't even contribute to those guys' successes, like in that AFCON. So in that WAFCON. So the issue is down that they are trying to look for somebody to start camp. They can sack to save their face, and the easiest person for them to actually want to sack is actually what is Eric said. They can't sack the players. It's actually what is Eric said to save their face. So it's just they won't stay on the job. They want to keep on getting rich and everything. But for me, I think his job is secured because they did not employ him.
It's the NSC that employed him.
That employed him, yes.
Assuming he doesn't qualify for the World Cup, we go out in the semi-final of the AFCON. Would you say that he should still stay?
He deserves to stay there. Let's be honest ourselves. If you give this guy time to play, the boy that just joined Chelsea now, it was his first choice to play for Nigeria. The guy was available initially, but Nigeria did not consider him. So if he can scout for players that can, in some basic areas, that can do the job for Nigeria, clinical players, I think Nigeria will really actually do well. For me. So I just think that he's the man to take the job. Eric Chelle is a very bold coach. He's not scared to drop anybody. You can see when he started Benjamin Felix, and no Eguavoen can never do that. It was feeling that who inside no, Benjamin, but that one did not actually what did not really actually what played him well. But for me, he's a very bold coach, and it's someone that if he sees a talent, he can actually work with that talent. So, the guy should be the one in charge of this team. So they have
Let's hear what people have to say about that. Before we start taking callers, again, just a reminder that if you haven't liked the video, click the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's free. It takes only a minute, even less than that, 10 seconds of your time. And if you want to support the channel, if you want us to take a question, a comment, a suggestion, please leave a super chat. You can also just leave a super chat to support the content and the work that we do. Thank you very much. We'll give each person 3 minutes, guys, just because we're over time. Let's try not to talk for too long. So 3 minutes, just share your thoughts, and then we will hear what you have to say. Sports Grinder, welcome.
Oh, hi everyone. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah, so I just wanted to chime in, because I heard your program on Friday, Smith. I'm like, let me just go see what this guy is talking about. Keep saying Nigeria will qualify. So I did some research in terms of the playoff, how we can make it, and I see there's a lot of precedents. Like even Europe has done it, like FIFA does that. Yeah. I didn't even know it was in the rule book because I couldn't find it. So if that happens, Nigeria, we have hope because we're one of the best sides if we make second, because we are the ones that, and provided Zimbabwe is last, we will be the ones that would have only the least points to be, disregarded. Like Gabon, Burkina Faso, like a lot of them, the people carrying last in their teams, like they will have to drop 6 points. So it's going to change that table a lot. Like even Tanzania may even make it, if it's not taken because.
Or even Nigeria can make
it. Yes. Even those teams from the Morocco group can actually make it because, because they gained 3 points from Congo, I think in the last window. So
because Congo was banned from FIFA.
Yes, Congo was banned and they're not having any play. So people that actually think they're second now, that thing can actually flip. But we have to do our own part, and score goals, especially because it may come to head goals between us and Benin.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys trust Rwanda, but you see this South Africa. Like, I don't know what changed for South Africa, because when this draw happened, I thought Nigeria had the best draw. Because South Africa had not qualified for the last AFCON. So I thought they were like weak. But I don't know what happened in South Africa. All of a sudden, they just became so good. Like, I remember when I watched them play against Ivory Coast. I actually thought Ivory Coast, like in the friendly before the AFCON, I thought Ivory Coast was going to be unready for the team, because the way South Africa played them in that friendly was very devastating. It was 1-1, but South Africa could have given them 7-1 that day. But I think it's just unfortunate that Nigeria just had the team that picked up the most form, in the group. So, and I know you had asked last time, like on last week, who has the best squad now in Africa. If it's in terms of player quality, where their clubs play, I think Morocco and Senegal. But if it comes to what team you don't want to play in Africa right now, bro, South Africa is the best. Like, South Africa can beat any team in Africa comfortably. Like their cohesion is mad. And I used to think it was Sundowns that was making Bruce be good, but they've moved away from Sundowns. Now they're picking players from Stellenbosch, Pirates, everywhere, and they're still playing the same way.
Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah, even Kaiser Chiefs. So they're still playing the same way. I used to think it was just maybe the Sundowns cohesion that was causing it. I think it's just Bruce himself. Like, Bruce is just making them play that way. So there's still hope for us, but we have to beat Lesotho very well. And trust me, you cannot beat Lesotho with Moses Simon on the left wing and like 4-0. Like, those guys just only give you 1-0, 2-0 margin. We need to.
Sport guy, let me say something. The reason why I just talked about South Africa last game as one of the most dangerous games against Rwanda, because if Rwanda beat Benin Republic, in their game in Kigali, they'll be on 14 points. They'll go head-to-head against Africa in the last game. My issue is this. All this last game in the World Cup qualifier. I remember when Cameroon beat Ivory Coast in Abidjan. Remember? Drogba
3-2.
And their last game against
1-1.
It's their home and dry. This last game, the last game of World Cup qualifier, is one of the most dangerous games to play when you think that you're already home and dry. So I think Rwanda might be slightly under Amrishi, might be probably adds nuts to crack for them. Honestly, these guys are very, very good. A draw will put them in a very good position. Rwanda.
Yeah. And 2018 qualifiers, I know Egypt ended up winning, but I don't know if anybody followed that Egypt versus Congo match.
Yeah.
In Cairo. That was the worst game ever. Like, Congo had nothing to play for. Yeah, Congo had nothing to play for. But anyway, I hope Rwanda does something for us. And we do our own part. We must do something.
We must do our own part first. That's the most important.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you always joining us and always supporting and giving your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, no worries.
All right. That was Sports Grinder. Just
always very good contribution.
Always here on Mondays, is on Ghana Football on Fridays.
Very good contribution.
Always calling me. I like people, there's some people that I see them in the comments a lot, but they don't call, they don't show their face, they don't, I like seeing the people. And it's funny, I'm debating it a bit, but I always say, like, one thing with social media is that you see numbers, subscribers, followers, all these things, and it just doesn't seem like people. But whenever you get to interact with the real people, it's always different. Last couple months ago, I met somebody in an elevator, and the person looked at me and the guy said, "Guy, your face looks familiar." And he's like, and AyoT Eagle Striker, and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Guy."
Where do you do it?
In elevator, like in just elevator, like I was in the elevator. In fact, in my apartment building, I was going up in the elevator. So 2 Nigerians walked in. I knew they were Nigerian because they were speaking pidgin, and the guy looked at me, and when somebody's looking at you, he was looking at me. He said, "Guy, your face looks familiar now." I said, AyoT Eagle Striker? I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Guy, you are here." He's also now. I was like, "Guy, I've been subscribed to the channel for like 2 years," and I was just, it felt good because again, when you meet somebody in person, it's very different from, oh, okay, you have 30,000 subscribers and it just feels like random numbers on a screen. And these are actually human beings. And, that's why I appreciate every single person that subscribes, man. But I appreciate it a little bit more when you guys come on, talk, when I see your face and I can engage you. Because even if I don't meet you face to face in real life, it feels like I know you small,
I think you used to go and watch Super Eagles game. Because when I went to go and watch Super Eagles game against Brazil, where's AyoT? Where's AyoT?
They should qualify for World Cup.
I think you should. You should have to go and go. In fact,
I don't think I'm going to the AFCON. So they should qualify for the World Cup. If they qualify for the World Cup, that one I'll make it my personal mission to go and support them at the World Cup. But AFCON, I'm not. I have so many things that are happening in my life. I can't make the AFCON. But we'll see. Okay. TC, welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Good evening. Good evening, Smith.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I came here this evening to talk to you, Smith, and also AyoT. The day after that Nigerian South Africa match, I think somehow. Okay, let me start. Have you rewatched that Nigerian South Africa game again? Like you watch it from beginning to the end?
I didn't watch the full 90 minutes. No, I didn't want to torture myself.
I think you should. I've watched it twice. I watched it with there's a one by Super Sport. I also watched one by FIFA. There's something we should take note of here. I don't know why Nigerians were angry after that match. They didn't even watch that game. South Africans were practically begging for that match to end. I don't know where few things went wrong. Like people were blaming what is his name, Ekong. On seeing that match, the only mistake Ekong did was only that one mistake for that first 45 minutes. There's also one time when they pushed the ball, Frederick, Moses, Iwobi ran faster than him and covered up before he joined the defense. It happened twice in the first half. But all through that game, there's a large period of that match, Nigeria was controlling, dictating the match. Unfortunately, things didn't click. We didn't have more opportunity to create, talent opportunities, and it has to do with few players, not getting their rhythm. That match was for the take. We should have beaten. We should be. See, if they replay that match today, we will beat South Africa. Why do I say this? I'm not saying this out of a blue. Take note of the last matches since this guy came, this new coach. This team is different from the team that played the first four World Cup qualifier. There's a stark. I watched that game and I went back and watched the old ones. There's a stark difference. The difference is huge. So, if you think the Super Eagles is not good, I've watched other teams. I've watched Morocco. I've watched their games. See, if Morocco meet the Super Eagles, they will struggle. They will play defense. Any team wants to play Nigeria, as far as African team is concerned, no team can play us fire for fire. No team. Nations Cup will happen. You will see us against Tunisia. You just mark it here. No team will play us, come out and play us and attack us. They will always defend, and that's only how they'll be able to beat Nigerian teams. So this last games that has happened, I have look at it. I wouldn't say that the team is in an upward trajectory. We're not seeing it because we expect too much thing. We don't. Most times, fans, we always feel like, things just happen all of a sudden. For me, I see nothing. There's nothing special. Yes, the South African teams are good. They understand, but you can see that they are very inexperienced. If you see if you watch that game when they hold their ball, when they only run, try to take on pace and shoot and cross quickly. That's only what they did, and they defended in number. Every time we have it, but they have 6 people in their box. 6. So let us not get over. It doesn't matter whether we qualify a World Cup or we don't qualify, but let us stick with the game plan. Keep bringing 1 or 2. We just need 1 or 2 persons in that team. We need to get alternative to Moses and somebody else who could play a different dimension from the right wing. It might not be exactly how Chico is. Somebody else that comes with something different that gives us a little bit of dynamism in that front. Once we get that sorted out and get one other person that can push the ball, that can take the ball and run, that also will be good. I overheard when you talk about the Akinsanmiro. I watched the game Pisa, and
30
there's something about
seconds.
yes, I'm running up quickly. So the Pisa guy, the guy from Pisa from Inter.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the guy, they should start telling me. I think he's beginning to relax. He should put more effort in his game. He tried to play. I watched the game he was playing. Sometimes when he needs to pick the ball and run, we don't need this kind of play because he's not better than any of those people playing in the midfield right now. He cannot displace any of them, except we just want to just introduce him and make him get used to the team. So we need players, And finally, I disagree with the fact that I say we don't have talent in Nigeria. We do have talent, but the system has a way to make sure that this talent don't thrive. We have boys who can play football. They don't have persons, they don't have money, they don't have connection. So we only pray that one day this system will be able to find those and unearth them and bring them to light.
Yeah.
But
what evidence do you have?
You say?
What evidence do you have that we have talent?
Okay. What evidence I have? Okay. This
Just
hold on. This Benjamin Frederick guy, I watched him in under 20, this last Boso team. I saw him play.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the Nigerian environment locally.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me that over 200 million we don't have boys like that.
No, in India is how many million? No, what I'm just trying to say.
No, it's not possible. I agree with you 100% that our structure kind of don't allow us to unearth them in a large number. I agree 100%. You understand? I understand that. But to say we don't have talent, that's not true. We do have talent, but talent, its potential is nothing if you don't, do something about it.
Let me just answer the question. See, sorry, AyoT. When
it's not me that you should be apologizing to. It's the people that are waiting.
Just to tell you, you mentioned Fredericks. Yeah. When last did you see a player again? You mentioned it one by one for the last 10 years. So it's like an anomaly. Let me tell you something. The way it used to be before, we'll be having 3, 4, 3, 4.
It's true.
See, the issue is this. It's not about talent.
I remember this player that died that time, Igunewari George from Rangers.
It's not about the talent you're talking about. It's that the talent you have, can they make it? Is it what they need now in modern day football? Because a Super Eagles player said that he left Nigeria, he needs to go and unlearn everything and relearn. So when you go and unlearn before you now relearn, what time do you have? See, let me tell you something. Football is not like 94 again or 95.
It has changed. I agree.
It has changed. A player must be well cooked. What you sell to European clubs, you sell potential. You don't sell what they are doing now. You sell what they will become tomorrow. So that is it. So for me, I agree that there's talent, but I can tell you that there's something wrong with our production line. I can tell you.
Yes, I 100% I agree with you. The system has to be such a way that it has to change.
All right,
I don't want to talk about NFF. There's nothing to talk about them. Unfortunately, we're not going to change anytime soon. But I only wish
they're the best of luck.
We'll have a good thing.
So
don't be surprised if this Super Eagles turn out tomorrow to win the Nations Cup. Don't be surprised.
All right.
Don't be surprised.
Thank you very much, TC. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace out. Peace.
Right. TC has taken up people's time. Well, blame Smith Layi, you don't blame TC.
No, it's just because they talk about talent. That talent is.
We'll just try to go to everybody as quickly as possible. Welcome, Uche. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes, good day. Can you hear me?
We can hear.
Yes. I'll start with the sporting director in NFF. I think it's time for him to pack his bag and leave, because in the last 2 World Cup, he's been the sporting director. He's been acting as the sporting director and also the coach in between. So, or the technical advisor. So I think it's time for him to leave. He should get sacked. They could bring in, what's his name? I heard Ola Aina wanted that, I think, interviewed for that post back in the days. I think someone like that should be called in. list that person has, because we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. He's been there since. He's the reason why we lost qualification to the 2022 World Cup, Nations Cup 2021. The reason that we almost lost out of capture this current AFCON that we're going for, because we qualified because they punished Libya. If not, we would have actually lost qualification. So I think he needs to go out. That's why we're not having a lot of players come through the line. We're having issues with what's the name? Corruption. I remember in 2003, we could see talents like Chinedu Bassi, we could see talents like Mikel. But when was the last time we had such beautiful talent apart from under 17? So we need someone to come in, create a system, and so that we can see players come out even in under 20, because that's where we got Taiwo, if you can remember. So I think what's his name? Guavon needs to go. And another thing, if NFF they hear, make they pay attention, make they try as much as possible. That Lesotho should not play their game in Bloemfontein. They should go and do the needful right now, so that Lesotho doesn't carry that same game to Bloemfontein. They should do the needful. And in regards to the players during the weekend, one player that surprised me was Akinsanmiro. I don't think he's ready yet. He needs more game time. I don't think he needs to come even during the AFCON. I think he needs a full season playing that role. I noticed they play a 3-5-2, and he's like what do they call it? The register, someone that sits in between and just. I think sometimes he plays as an 8, or sometimes he plays as the deep line playing maker. So that's one guy that actually surprised me during the weekend game. Also what's his name? Uche, Christantus Uche was also good during the weekend. I enjoyed watching his 11-minute cameo. So yeah, that's all I have to say for the day.
All right, thank you very much, Uche. It looks like you got a fresh lineup, but this one at your hairs.
Yeah. That's
Very good. Well, yes, thank you for joining us again. Appreciate it. Right. Okay, that's Uche. We have a couple more people to take, and then we'll call it an evening. One person's camera is off. If you want me to bring you on, please put on your camera. Or if not, I would have to skip you. So please turn on your camera. But while I wait for that, Damola, welcome once again.
Yes, thank you. It's good to be on your show again today.
Thank you.
In regards to the chances of the Super Eagles qualifying, by the way, I just have a quick question. I'll be fast. Smith, the whole thing about how to determine the second best placed team, right? Whereby the team has to, we look at the matches between the second team and we take away the points from the last team. Is that because of what happened with Eritrea, or is that automatic with looking for a second best placed team?
No, it's because of what happened with Eritrea. It's the fact that their own group is incomplete.
Okay, I see. So assuming the Eritrea issue was not there, it would have just been the best second place team automatically.
Yes, just be looking automatically as who finished second. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now, what I would like to say is this. As you know, I'm one of those that believes that Nigeria can still qualify. Why? Because there's still hope. For me, I believe that hope is not lost until when the game is over, right? So there's still a chance. But my issue is that all these things that we are saying, the NFF, are they fully aware of it? Now, are the players themselves aware of it? Do they know that there's still a pathway for them to qualify for the World Cup next year? So these are the questions. Now, I know Smith was saying that there was maybe an alleged issue between Ola Aina and the NFF president, right, after the game because of the injury he sustained.
It's Osasu Obayuwana that posted about it.
Okay, yes, okay. So now, if that is true, it's actually scary because we still need these players next month. It's just 1 month, right, for the next 2 games. I believe we can win the next 2 games. But the issue is that, what about the morale of the players? These are humans. These are not AI. These are not machines. They are human beings. after what they've been through in the last game, what are you going to do? You embarrassed the captain, whether it was mistake, whether it was that statement was AI generated, whether it was by mistake, whatever, but damage was done. What are we going to do to mitigate that damage that was done to Ekong, the captain? Even if he's not going to play, what he did, the players will be looking at it that, okay, if they can do this to Ekong, the captain, nobody can be spared. These are the things we should be looking at. You see, like, I'm convinced we can still qualify, but we are still going to need the same set of players to play the last 2 games. Okay, we are going back to SA to play Leicester 2. Are you going to send an advance party to check the stadium? Okay, the last game against Benin Republic, is it going to be played in Uyo, or do we have to try out on that stadium? These are the kind of questions. My fear is that even when you look at the Nigerian media, there's no hope. These players are humans. They are having injury problems already. Indeed, they will be out. I don't know what next. Now, so what's going to happen in the next 2 games? So it's so easy for us to say all these things, but my fear is that the things that happened in the past could still happen again in the next 2 games. It's not about the quality of the teams we are playing, but it's about this, the psychology behind the whole thing now, the damage that has been done because of the last game that was played.
Yeah.
So,
should I just answer the question quickly?
Yes.
I think I answered you about the Eritrea.
Yeah, I think AyoT. Yeah.
And, the reason why I started this campaign about the Eritrea is that I realized that the Nigerian media, most of them don't read. They don't know. They don't read. They don't investigate. They just go join this bad wagon thing. And it happened in the past. In 2012, Nigeria did not know what to do to qualify for AFCON. Yes, with all the countries left and we slept in one angle. We didn't know what to do to qualify. We didn't know what to do. We were thinking that, can we just go for more goals when 2-1 was enough to qualify against Guinea? That was how CSC lost out in that AFCON thing. So as a whole country then, I was like, same thing might happen in October. So that's why I started the campaign. I'm happy that people are taking it up now. I can see like some media are taking it up like about the Eritrea thing. So they need to know because we don't read. Damola, we don't read.
Smith Layi, I'll ask you this. Even if the media was not aware, wouldn't somebody, does the NFF have like a director of competition?
They don't know.
Somebody that should be aware.
I don't want to mention somebody.
I beg, don't embarrass us again. No, don't embarrass NFF.
Because I don't want to mention somebody's name here, but I won't lie to you. I was on a phone call with people in the NFF. They don't know.
Before I forget, one of the things that can be done, for example, is that, okay, we have 2 games to go, right? There can be like a campaign, like a hashtag. I know there's this football platform there talking about hashtag Hope Day, for example. Things like that. Like, how do we ginger the players? Maybe release a song, maybe put together some celebrities.
In my opinion, I think it would be embarrassing for the NFF to start Hope Day. That one is a fan-led, campaign.
At least let the media do something, the media. But that's all I have to say today. Like, there's still hope, but I hope we don't make the same mistake again in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
Because it's be more painful. Do you know the painful part is? Let me tell you, it's be more painful if we don't win our next 2 games and then we discover that South Africa lost one of their games.
Yeah.
What happens if SA loses against Rwanda and then we now mess up as well?
And we now drop our
more painful. That would be more painful. At least if you win our next 2 games, we will know that we've done our part. We've done our best. But it's been more painful if we don't do what we need to do in the next 2 games because we think that hope is lost.
Yeah, and may God bless you too. Good job. Remember this type of situation. We had to play Kenya, Tunisia, play against Mozambique. Later, Ogunjobi travel to Mozambique to go and monitor the game between Mozambique and Tunisia. Motivate them. Tell them that they can beat Tunisia and go to the AFCON.
Yeah.
But these people, they just put belly and be roaming around Uyo. My brother.
It is well. Yeah. So don't let me waste your time. Yeah. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Damola. Thank you. Okay. I have one more person out there to join, but I don't know. I've been waiting for him and he hasn't joined. So I think that's where we're
It's
going.
not Steph Monique?
No.
Say you apply for a job and you didn't give him job.
See, right. See, Steph Bonig, I don't want to discuss your matter on live. Listen, you know what you are doing.
No, because he told somebody to tell you that he should. Somebody sent me a screenshot that he said, "Please let me tell AyoT that he wants to get a job. That he's already sent the application to you." So the person is listening now. Yeah, I said that. So that's how he has been sending CV everywhere. You know, it was a very funny guy. He's a very funny guy. I like the guy.
See, I'll say this. I'm constantly looking for people to work with, people to collaborate with. So if you can offer value, but I say this, even I pitch to people sometimes. If you are pitching to somebody, you don't just come and say, "Oh, hire me, employ me." You have to tell them what you can do, what value you offer, how you can help the team get better. Nobody say I post job posting. Now they pitch to me, but you just say, "Oh, hire me." Okay, like I don't know what am I supposed to do with that. But with that being said, I am trying to hire a video editor. So if you're a video editor, you are skilled and you would like to work on football content, podcast content, you work on some content for Nigerian footballers as well that give us work to do. Please send me a DM at EagleStracker on Instagram, or you can email ayo@eaglestracker.com. We're trying to hire a video editor, so please, if you are interested or if you know somebody that would be interested in the role that is skilled, and can elevate our content, because you have to be able to do better than what we're already doing. Then please reach out. And also, if you or anyone that you know needs help paying fees for their university or their secondary school, Rasheedat Ajibade today has announced back to school projects. The Rasheedat Ajibade Foundation is sponsoring scholarships for students in secondary schools and in universities. Obviously, it's not every single person. You have to apply. There's an application process. You put in all your information, and then you tell us why you deserve to be awarded the scholarship, kind of like any scholarship that you apply for anywhere. And then the winners or the awardees would be announced on a later date. But if you want to apply for that, you can check out the information on Rasheedat Ajibade's social media. You can also check it out on her website, rasheedatajibade.com, and you can submit your application. You need to have verifiable documents about your school, about your fees, about everything. It's a stringent check before we select the final awardees. But that is an opportunity if you or anyone that you know is in need of fees, secondary school and university alone. No postgraduate though. If you are looking for PhD money, it's not from here. Undergraduate and secondary school. So yes, you can apply now, rasheedatajibade.com, or you can check the information on her social media pages. Okay, I think that's that for this week. Champions League is back, man. Champions League is back. Tomorrow we're going to post the graphic on our page of all the Nigerian players that are playing in the UEFA Champions League. But I think I can just quickly give you guys the names that you need to watch out for. I'm just trying to find my list. Give me 1 second. Yes, in the Champions League, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. Ademola Lookman, Atalanta; Nathan Tella, Bayer Leverkusen; Rafael Onyedika, Club Brugge; Victor Osimhen, Galatasaray; George Lenikena, AS Monaco; Bruno Emechi, Olympiacos; Igor Ogbu, and David Moses, Slavia Prague. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 players in the UEFA Champions League. The Europa League, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 players in the Europa League. We'll make a post about that so that you're aware of all the players. So 8 in the Champions League, 14 in the Europa League, and in the Conference League, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the Conference League. So 8, 11, 10. Good numbers. I think the numbers are getting better year after year. Nigerian players in European top competitions, and we're looking forward to it. But Smilai, before we go, Lookman, Tella, Onyedika, Osimhen, Ilenikena, Bruno, Igor, and David Moses. Who has the best chance of going the farthest in the UEFA Champions League this year?
I think it has to be Victor Osimhen. I think the Ghana team can actually do a lot of job. I don't trust the Atlanta team, and I don't trust AS Monaco too. that regard. I just think that Osimhen and actually want to do a very good job. Yeah. What do you think, so?
I can't lie. I don't trust Galatasaray.
I don't trust them, but it's just that they are part of the
their fixtures. I mean, they have some tough teams in their league phase. If I'm not mistaken, let me quickly find their Champions League schedule. They play Frankfurt first, so at least that one should be relatively comfortable for them. But I know they also have to face Liverpool. You know, they have to face after Frankfurt they play Liverpool, then Bodo, Ajax, Union Saint-Gilloise, Monaco, Atletico Madrid, Man City. So they can actually, I think they will qualify from the league phase. I think they will lose. I think they will lose to Liverpool. I think they will lose to Man City. I think they might beat or draw Frankfurt. I think they will beat Bodo Glimt. I think they will beat Ajax. They will beat Union Saint-Gilloise. AS Monaco can go either way. I think they might lose or draw against Atletico de Madrid. So they can make it from their groups, from their league phase. Let me see. Atalanta, on the other hand, they start against PSG on Wednesday. Then after PSG, they play Club Brugge, Slavia Prague. Nigerians, they face each other. They play Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, Marseille, Frankfurt, Chelsea, Athletic Bilbao, Union Saint-Gilloise. It's tough, man. It's tough. Bayern Leverkusen, those ones, I don't even want to look at their fixtures. They've sold them. I don't think they have a chance.
They're so denying everybody. So
Club Brugge, they will do what they usually do. Maybe they will reach the next round and they'll lose. I would say maybe Galatasaray or Club Brugge. Because I think Club Brugge will get knocked out in the quarterfinal. Maybe Galatasaray to get knocked out in the quarterfinal. Slavia Prague, I don't expect much. Olympiacos, I don't expect much. AS Monaco, I mean, if we're looking at the Lille Kena, AS Monaco, maybe they can try to do something as well.
You even scored this last weekend, eh?
Yeah, he did. Nevertheless, man, congratulations to all our Nigerian players playing in the Champions League. Congrats to those in the Europa and the Conference League as well. Follow us at Eagle Striker NG on Instagram so that you can see the list. We'll post for the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Graphic Ghana is currently working his magic. And then, of course, stay tuned. Next Monday, we're back again for the Naija FC podcast. On Friday, Gun Football, Friday Night Football Club is going to be there as well. And it's always going to be engaging. And so much will happen during the course of the week as well. Thank you very much, guys. Man, it's been a pleasure. We're way over time, but I appreciate all of you for engaging and staying with us. If you are yet to like the video, please make sure you hit the like button before you leave. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. And if you are just here to be a hater, thank you very much. I still appreciate your audience. At least the number of the adverts we play, you don't help me make, even if I $1, you don't help me make $1. So thank you very much to those people as well. I appreciate you guys. This has been the Naija FC podcast. As always, I'm your host AyoT, and my co-host is
Smith Layi.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.